Hello everybody and welcome to ASM. Thank you so much. We're ready for our next run, which is Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, run by Nicosar. Take it away.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Final Fantasy XII. I'm going to be playing through this game that's the PC remaster. Joining me today, I have Sayo.
Hello.
And Little Crochet, very generously commentating. I believe Shay has beaten the game in order to do this, and Sayo's been furiously reading. Got my settings all ready, and if we're ready to start the timer, I'm good to go when we're good. All right, so that's a 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, most of my knowledge from this game comes from the PS2 version, but luckily there's enough crossover that I'm not completely out of my depth.
Man, the load times on this are fast. We're just going to start instantly by skipping 3 cutscenes. There is just a built-in cutscene skip in Final Fantasy XII, which I'm eternally grateful for.
Yeah, we've got tutorial stuff to get through.
Yep. So very sort of, hand-holdy. One difference in the remaster is we have an X4 speed, which, honestly, that took some getting used to for me, but from a speedrun point of view, it's invaluable.
I hated it at first, just because it looks so silly. Like, boost.
Yeah.
Generally, in the other PC remasters, for like 7, 8, 9, 10, all that stuff, like the boosters are a separate thing in this game. And at first, I was like, "Oh, it's so silly," and now I love it. I think it's very funny. It gives the game a bit of like individual charm.
Shout out to Rex for having the most impractical armor I've ever seen. It's like, hello, stab me in the gut. So starting, we're just going to do a few battle speed changes. We're going to put the game on active for now. Most of the game I'll be playing in wait, but active is faster in situations where the combat is just free anyway. So we're just going to spam Thunder on this boss and get down to about half health and then fast take care of it. There we go, kaboom. This is a little prologue. We are what am I saying? We'll have Rex forever, right?
Yeah.
He's our main man. Come on, Rex.
Clearly.
Yeah. Ignore me. I'm trying to lie to you and deceive you.
The combat structurally in this game is a very, very far departure from any other FF game.
Yeah.
Previously all turn-based or ATB, and not really any positional-based combat. This has kind of got everything. There's ATB bars, there is position being important, and there's also it's weirdly turn-based and ATB with
Yeah. The fascinating thing is that the ATB charge, you can also, if you want to play in wait mode, you can also just interrupt the game and micromanage everything if you want to, but that's very slow, so I mostly don't.
Do you want to cover sort of the super, basics, I guess for anyone that hasn't seen
Yeah, of course. So, this was essentially Square Enix's first attempt to sort of make a Final Fantasy run in real time as a mainline. Obviously, 10 was a seminal game, and weirdly enough, it wasn't ATB, it was turn-based.
Full proper turn-based.
So they went back to sort of a hybrid model here, where your characters are roaming around in 3D space in real time, but they still use the ATB meter to charge up their attacks. Obviously, when you got one character, it's fine, but once you get a full party, that's a whole lot of work to sort of micromanage the actions of 3 or 4 people all at once. So we don't get to engage with it yet because the game loves its tutorial gatekeeping, but the way that they solved that problem was creating the Gambit system, which we'll get an in-game tutorial on in time, where basically you run a preset list of conditions and actions for your characters, and it essentially automates, the very common, JRPG thing of, oh, well, I've got an enemy, I'm going to click attack 100 times on it, right? You can basically just go, okay, just pick an enemy and attack it. There we go. So, game's also got a pretty big hunting system. So you've got a whole bunch of optional monsters to fight. The very first one is sort of your introduction to the game, because Vaan here, our protagonist, he's Rex's brother. Sorry, Rex, he died. I lied to you. He's hilariously, everyone hated him because he's a teenager, and unlike, it's oh yes, I'm a veteran soldier or whatever. It's no, he's a 17-year-old and he acts like a 17-year-old. And I don't know how long it's been since any of you have been 17, but when I first met Vaan, I felt very accused. So we're off doing some monster hunting odd jobs in Occupied City because no one's taking care of the little beasties in the desert. So first sort of meaningful combat challenge here. I mostly just need to not run into this wolf because it will eat me if I don't pay attention to it. So just make sure I give it a bit of a berth. Oh, lovely. It's just decided to move out of the way. And beat up this tomato. There we go.
Yeah. If you saw those lines as well, that's like which character is targeting. So the line will actually travel from the enemy to its target before the spell, and in turn the blue lines are from your party to the other targets.
Oops. All right. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. There was a chance I could have game overed there. I was a bit bad in my targeting, but we've got that taken care of. Yeah, there was clearly like, because they made this game in 2006, there's a lot of like concern about, oh, we don't want to confuse the players, we don't want to sort of like have them not understand what's happening. To be fair, it was running a lot slower than this.
And then everyone didn't like it anyway. Well, a lot of people didn't like it because it was just such a far departure from FF10.
Yeah.
Well, it basically started like it's like the permanent trend now of every Final Fantasy is the worst Final Fantasy ever until the next Final Fantasy comes out. It's like broken fan base.
There is a lot that was added to the Zodiac Age as far as like quality of life. Though.
Yeah.
Not even like beyond speed up. Like you've got autosaves now. There's like a lot more. The progression system for how strong your characters get is significantly more fleshed out and easier to use. And
was really interesting because, in the original version, every character was on a license board, so it was kind of like a smushed down, much more simplified version of the sphere grid from FF10, where ultimately everyone could learn everything. But the problem in Vanilla 12 was that like it wasn't even ultimately; it just sort of like happened naturally, quite like early. So everyone felt pretty much the same. They made a remastered version in 2007 called the International Zodiac Job System, and in true Square Enix fashion, they only ever released it in Japan.
Yeah, that happens. That's been happening since FF7. You've got FF7 and then FF7 International. Except, interestingly, FF7 International is just the same as the worldwide version. But, like, FF10 International has all the super bosses and the expert sphere grid and stuff that is not featured in the worldwide version of
Weird.
FF10.
Oh.
Only the PAL version.
I don't need it right now, but I realized I forgot to take my cheat sheet out of my backpack. If you could just reach into the very back compartment of the main one.
Oh, do we have paper notes?
I have paper notes.
Yes!
Most of them are just luxuries. One of them is absolutely necessary because I don't know the values. Thank you. Varn's basically just feeling extremely bored. Like, fair enough, kid. Like, that's life. So he's being given a bunch of like make work from the adults in town. So he wants to break into the palace, steal a shiny rock, and make the just nebulously take back what's ours. And like he's not thinking about the fact that he's just going to get caught and end up in jail because he's 17.
Repercussions be damned.
Yeah. What do you mean? Something's going to happen 5 minutes after I do a thing? But in order to do that, we need to get a sunstone from Giza Plains. So once we're here in this little village, the locals will tell us how to go about it. And yep, that's it. Okay, make some sunstones. And in the process, we're going to run into Penelo, who's ultimately going to be another party member. Jesus, this thing loads fast. I swear, I'm just going to get a PB on this thing because like it's faster than my PC at home. I'm used to having wait way longer before skipping the cutscenes.
Load remover?
It does, but it's funky because unfortunately, it counts like time idle on pause screens. So like people use it, but it's not leaderboard. Not up to snuff for that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Still.
Again, PS2 guy, load removers don't exist like anywhere for anything unless the game is counting it itself.
Just get the best machine. All right, so going to do a first thing here to take advantage of the remaster. Now, trial mode was introduced in the Zodiac job system, but Zodiac Age changed it a little bit because now, unlike in that 2007 game, you can import progress you make in your trial mode back into your main save. That's pretty huge in terms of being able to get cheap LP and money in particular. So that diamond armlet I just got from that chest, that's like the 6,000 gil, which, that's car money.
Yeah, we're doing a bit of leveling for Varn here as well. It'll just help boost everyone's levels when the other party members join.
No, actually that's later on. So trial mode, because like this game also is like, like many other things, like there was a big strong fan thing of like, play a no leveling game. So the trial mode doesn't actually give you XP to like make it so that people can go, I'm gonna, beat it with everyone on starting levels.
I'm getting it
You
confused
do
with
get
the
LP
license
though.
points.
Yeah. But we will indeed be grinding later because you were correct to point out the starting level that your new characters turn up in is based on Varn's level.
Yeah.
So.
Are the chests in trial mode still RNG?
No, chests in trial mode are completely fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, like all the important ones at least.
Okay, yeah, that's another thing that's nightmarish about the PS2 version is random chests.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Well, it's like,
1 of 3 items and then a range of gil.
Yep.
So in the PS2 version, you can just get to the first shop and be like, I'm too broke, reset.
pretty much.
Killer. I just played a great first 25 minutes and it's gone now.
Well, and there was the infamous thing as well where like the Zodiac spear chest. Oh, that's a bit less than ideal. We'll just have to deal with it. So I'm looking now at my like HP prep chart. Oh, look, Penelope's back. She got better. I've got an enemy coming up that requires me to be on very low HP, and getting Varn hurt down there is going to, like, sometimes the easy ways to do that depend on, like, Varn's health. Okay, so these crystals here also, they fill randomly between 25 and 55%. Oh, you son of a bitch. Pardon me. So, yeah, it's possible if you're lucky to get that done in only 2 crystals. Usually you get it done in 3 crystals, but I've got a 4 crystal. So that's fun, that's nice. I'm just going to have to run around to the one that you never go to because it's on the opposite side of the map. We're going to make it. What's my health? 50 health on Varn. Oop. Okay, less than 50 health on Varn. My gambits are not doing me any favours there. Yeah, the other tricky thing is that when you swap out of fleeing in this game, your characters will then start, reacting to the enemies around them.
Attacking, basically. It's so hard to try and get them to interact with something when you're trying to continue and progress the story, and then they go, oh no, I gotta go attack that thing that's attacking me.
And you can't interact with doors or chests or anything like that while your character's in the middle of an animation. So if they're blocking or if they're attacking, then yeah, you just no show. So some of the skill which I've not demonstrated that well is in avoiding those situations. So a little break here, and I'm going to do a bit of shopping right away. The other thing that the Zodiac version of the game remixed is where and when you get all of your different spells. So for whatever reason, they decided that like Dark, which is this sort of like early mid-game spell in the original version, you could just buy it from this vendor here, and it just shreds everything. Oops, left too soon. So we're just going to buy Dark, and then for later on, we're going to buy some Onion Shot, ammunition for guns. That's put a pin in that one. We're going to get back that in a long time, but it's critical for the run. 20 hit points on Varn. That's very low. Oh no! I need Penelo for that. Maybe I'll try my luck with the wolves in the desert. Not critical, but yeah. I need to get myself down to below 10% of my maximum hit points in order to spawn a rare enemy called Dustier.
This is for farming. Yeah.
The tricky thing is, like, if I had Penelo, she's got less strength than Varn, so if I could get her to punch, I'm going to experiment with just doing a Varn punch, assuming I can get past the wolves in the Wester Sand.
Just do some science live.
Yeah, we'll spade this out. Okay, so I'm going to turn the turbo mode down to X2 and turn... Oh, do the self-punch first. Just go on the other side of here, just to make sure it doesn't spawn on me. So we're going to, remove all of Penelo's gear so I can sell it later. Take Varn's dagger away, because he will absolutely kill myself if I attack with that. Excellent, okay. It's good enough. Now, I've got to turn the battle speed down to minimum, because essentially I need to exploit the fact that items have an instant charge, whereas Dustier here has to charge up its attacks with the ATB system.
Yeah, do you also want Penelope dead because Varn will get all the XP here?
Yes, that's exactly it. So experience LP is like friendly shared. Everyone gets the LP, but XP only goes to the active characters. So anyone who's benched and anyone who's KO'd gets nothing. And that went pretty sweet. I'm just gonna YOLO my way past these wolves here. Like, yeah. Well, fortunately, it's 2026 and games have autosaves. If I'd done that in PS2, then that would have been a reset.
Probably would be like an hour in by now as well with the
yes.
1x speed.
Absolutely would have been. So we're just going to try it again. Yeah, there we go. We're fine.
I saw the line though.
Yeah. It took time to judge. So it's enemies have like a bunch of the regular enemies have just ordinary attacks which play by the same rules as players, and then a bunch of them have these little named attacks like charge or ram or bite or whatever that have really short CT, and you hate when those ones come out because it's just you've bopped me and I haven't been able to do anything. Fortunately, I'm going to get like a free full heal before I'm next in danger anyway, so I'm fine. Basically, technically, I didn't need to do that leveling there, but it's going to make the next section of the game much easier. So I'm back on the critical path now. I'm just going to say goodbye to Pinello and show old Dallin little sunstone. And now we've got a way to get into the palace. So time for a trip in the sewers, classic JRPG stuff. And skip. I was like, oh no, someone else is also getting ready to do things in the sewers. I sure hope that there isn't like a violent insurrection on the day that I'm trying to do some crime. And there's no possibility that people might think I'm one of those revolutionaries, right? Like these Imperial soldiers are perfectly reasonable guys, right? Can't be that bad. So we've got like one last little solo section here with Vaughn, and essentially once that's done, I'm going to start getting forever characters. And obviously playing through on X4 speed and playing just sticking to critical path speedrun stuff, you're not actually seeing that much, but if you're just on a casual run through this game on the first time, it takes quite a while before you're sort of actually allowed to start playing the game.
We saw another future party member there, kind of, Kites.
I mean, yeah, okay. To be fair, if you count Revenant Wings.
Yeah, if you count Revenant Wings, he's a future party member.
I genuinely don't remember where that thing ended, because I know, Tactics A2 basically pretended it didn't happen. So, I don't know, maybe the parallel universe is happening here. Yeah, it's like half the little kids down in the Lowtown turned into, playable in that game.
Kites and
Philo? Yeah.
And she's on a hoverboard. They added hoverboards to the world. It's just old, castles and dragons and stuff, and then you get kids on hoverboards.
Yeah, I think they gave it the Poochie treatment. All right, so skip some more cutscenes. There's a free Alexa in this room, but I think I'm not going to bother with it. So you have my permission now to point and laugh at me if I, later in the game goes, oh no, I've got no MP. So they've successfully disguised myself as a random day worker who's been come in to clean up after the party's done. So immediately they've told me to wait, so I'm just going to run straight forward to them. It's like, well, I told you to wait. And now we're going to be advised just call out for attraction, try and distract them, and we'll move up to them. And I hope I don't just muck this up.
Yeah, another tutorial,
Yep.
which will lead you into this next part of the castle.
That looks like nothing, but if you go too close to the soldier, he catches you. And if you go too far away, then the servant nags you to, no, go through. It's just a pain in my neck. So now we actually have to do the calling minigame with slightly more consequences. If I get caught here, I get sent back to the beginning of the puzzle. Should be able to do it in one. There's a handy little thing here where when your character is doing an animation, you can freely control the camera, so it can prime you to sort of send them going the way you want to go while they're stuck.
Hello.
Good. I can't wait for the other lines.
Oh, yeah.
Over here.
I can't remember if anyone actually remembers this game. It's been 20 years. All right. Lovely. So just open this one up, and then we're just going to get into the treasure vault, which, despite the fact that, I think, the Empire's been occupying this place for 2 years, I think, and they've, never bothered to investigate, this giant palace that they're using as their headquarters. It's this wasn't that hard to get into. It's just a wall with, an open grate in there.
I mean, to be fair, you do need that stone.
Well, yeah, sure, but, it's just a wall. They could just take an axe to it if they wanted to. Give it a good whack. I don't know. They seem very incurious, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, they all care about the architecture.
But to be fair, Vane does, make a big speech about that, so maybe there's something to it. So just this little switch here. Oop.
Yeah, there's secret stuff all over the place.
Yeah. A suspicious wall. All right, well, in we go. So now in a cutscene, which I'm going to skip, Vaughn finds a shiny rock. And it's like, okay, that's mine. And then immediately runs into, where are you? Come on, Goddess's Magicite. There we go. Runs into Balthier. Is like, no, that's mine. I'm taking it from you. And Zvan's like, nuh-uh, and I'm just running away. Then, unfortunately, we're going to find out that there's a giant battle going on outdoors. They've got like a airship firing like broadsides down on the ground. It's pretty brutal. So we're once again stuck back in the sewers, having to make common cause with Balthier and Fran, our Sky Pirate friends. Now we've got a forced Gambit tutorial here. So, yeah, basically explaining how the Gambit system works. So, as we can see... Balthier is telling us, you've got, on the left side, you've got a condition. On the right side, you've got an action. Essentially lets you automate sort of a bunch of common things you might want to do. The priority is just from top to bottom. There's a degree of cleverness in how some of the gambits work. So like if you've got a healing gambit, it will just not fire off on any ally who's on full health. But there's limits to it. Balthier's next going to tell us you can turn your gambits off, although you can change the order of your gambits. And then, yeah, you can turn them off and on. And that's basically the long and the short of it. I really appreciate how much you can do with it, considering that it's like, you know, it's sort of baby's first sort of programming challenge. Interestingly enough, like, Final Fantasy kind of moved away from this in later games. The only game I can think of that really followed through in a similar thing was Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah.
FF13 has a similar thing because you're not in control of your
does
whole
a little
party.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of like, and Kingdom Hearts as well has a sort of.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
You sort of like give very general guidance to the rest of the party, even though you don't have full control. This is much more involved though.
Yeah.
Than either of those, I think.
Yeah, there's a long list of like Gambit conditions that you can buy from vendors and enemy conditions, enemies around, allies, yeah.
To be fair, quite a lot of them are fairly redundant. Okay, so I'm going back into trial mode now to get a little more license points, and now we're going to do our first job assignments. So the other change that the Zodiac versions made to Final Fantasy XII, rather than having a single license board for everybody, every character now chooses a job, which will have its own custom board. I'm going with Red Battle Mage with Balthier and with Vaan because that job is the king of the early game. You get access to Dark, which just shreds everything. I'm going to do first Gambits here. I'm going to assign Balthier and let's see. Don't mind me. Okay. Balthier is going to also be a Dark spellcaster. And he's just going to go for like whatever's toughest, just beat it up, get rid of it. And then Fran, I'm going to put on potion duty, just in case things get a little bit hairy.
I do like the idea of having to purchase decisions. If you think about like buying gambits, it's
it was even worse in the original PS2 because a bunch of them you had to get from chests. This is literally just, I never thought of attacking an enemy that was blind until I just found this pot in the desert. So Fran getting KO'd there is actually good for this next little section because, like, yes, I want her potion gambit for healing, but, like, I don't want it for this section. So, like, right now, if I get below half health, she'll chuck potions, which, like, I'd rather have for later in the game. So I'm just going to zoom through here and we'll use a save crystal to res her before the mini-boss fight coming up. Oh, need to take a right there. I always forget, because there's a later version of basically the same tile set, but you just go straight forward. All right. So now, a little crystal here, and we're going to meet, definitely not Ash. She's dead, apparently. Like, that's the line. And going to fight off this squad of Imperial soldiers. And yeah, you can see just how ludicrous Dark is here. I've just, like, one-shotted every single one of these guys. Like, that's not meant to be a hard fight, but it's meant to be a fight, and it just wasn't.
Yeah, it's Amalia. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. Like this is definitely, you know, have you ever seen them in the same room? So another mini boss straight on the back of that, just beat up some flans. Oh, that blind's a bit annoying. Okay. And yeah, once again, between sort of level grinding and having access to like a spell that... The thing with like Zodiac remasters, they did tweak some enemies, but not that much. So most of the threat profile that you got to respond to has just kind of been power crept by what your characters can do. And we're going to see even more of that as we get later in the game, because the Zodiac Age remaster sort of amped that up even more. I'm just going to, use Crystal, and we got our first boss fight. I guess second, technically there was that, you know, that patrol ship in the tutorial, but yeah. There we go. So we got Fire Main here, Big Angry Horse. I'm going to walk on the water because it makes fire damage do slightly less damage to me, and hope it doesn't teleport too much. Every time these teleporty enemies move, they just become intangible and you can't hurt them. Cutscene attacks are basically the only way to avoid this one firing off the first time is luck. If I'm average luck, it'll get it once. If I'm bad luck, it'll get it twice. You jerk. Okay, it was only fire. Good. Nice. Don't care about that. So on the back of that, we've been like caught and arrested by the Imperial Army, and we're getting sent to prison. Funny that. They know who Amalia is, and so she gets sent off to like super extra prison, and the rest of us are just thrown into a dungeon. But like weirdly enough, like you can still cast magic and stuff. This sort of worked a bit better in the original game, where taking away all your equipment was much more impactful because you had way fewer spells you could buy. Like this prison fight I'm about to do, barefisted, is meant to be like dramatic and difficult, and
Yeah, I played this with my bare fists.
it's like we can just cast Dark on them. Like this doesn't seem fair. Well, they had it coming, but still. Especially because you immediately get your gear back here. I'm just going to nab a couple of these chests here. Gil, I'll just do that one. Gil is critical in this run because at the moment I'm sort of happy-go-lucky on the healing. Later on, everything is done with items. So technically there is a cure spell that you do just know for free. I'm never going to cast it. Like everything's just going to be potions because they're faster and they're easy to automate.
Yeah, I think Fran knows it innately.
I think, in fact, Ash and Penella as well. But yeah, it very quickly ceases to be relevant. All right. So we've just met Bosch. He's a bit worse for wear. Sort of been stuck in a cage for the last 2 years. Once again, going to get more Gil.
I love the little footsteps, man. That's so sick.
All right. You can do a really like cool like teleporty setup here where you like pin one character in place and then change control back to them. But like you need to sort of do that in active, and every time I tried practicing it, it's like you've like spent 30 seconds to save 5 seconds. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep things simple. So there's a little charge mini game in this area where every time we use a switch to open a gate, it uses up charge, and there are also a bunch of battery mimics around that suck more charge out of it. Once the charge gets really low, undead come out and will just sort of make your life unpleasant. You can go through pretty freely if you are lucky. I'm assuming I won't be, so I'm going to take this opportunity, not yet, but soon, to just beat up some mimics, because that adds more charge back into the system. Oh, you jerk. I didn't ask to get poisoned. That's going to be mildly irritating, because it's, I think I'm just going to let Fran heal me up here. You know what? I'm just going to... I didn't even use the antidote. All right. There we go. And now, around this corner here, there should be a guaranteed mimic, and we'll just wait until it gets nuked, and that will add more charge back into the system. So at 60%, we should be fine to just not bother fighting anymore. Navigating the little tight corners here does take some practice at X4 speed.
I played the game at ×2. I couldn't do it at ×4. It was just ridiculous. I kept knocking into walls.
Yeah, until I started speedrunning, ×4 just seemed like a weird joke to me. But it's, you get used to it. You do still obviously have some inefficiencies in your movement. That's just inevitable. Humans can only move so fast. Okay, that's a bit more damage than I was wanting to take. I'll just let Fran do an extra little bit of healing up there. Bit unfortunate the party leader didn't get healed, but I think we'll be okay to make it through this next scene transition. Yeah, there we go. So Barsh is now going to find some clothes and a sword. Only the sword actually affects his mechanics. He's a guest character. And I can just skip this so fast. There we go.
What do you mean he's a guest character?
Well, so like you only ever have 3 active proper characters at a time. So over the course of the game, you will occasionally get some like 4th slot guest characters. In the original game, you couldn't control them at all. In Remaster, you can freely change their gambits, move them around, give them orders, whatever. Barsh is sort of a weird one where he's a guest character now, and he's going to be a permanent party member later on, once he's better dressed.
Yeah, he's less hobo looking.
Yeah, instead he gets like a sort of like a granny square on his chest. this weird sort of, checkered green and orange pot holder. All right, so Mimic Queen coming up, just another boss fight. This one's relatively straightforward. You do want to try and keep the minions down a little bit, just because once they run low, it will waste time spawning more minions instead of attacking you. And we'll see how we go. Oh, this is going pretty well. Didn't get the 0 Shock Storm run, but like 1 is fine, and it's just going to get vaporized on the next go round. There we go, lovely. Varn getting KO doesn't really matter because I'm going to like get to a res crystal soon anyway. Unskippable cutscene coming up for reasons I do not understand. I just have some water.
There is a weird skill. You were talking to me about this in before with this game and skipping cutscenes, and that the FMV style cutscenes are skipped in one way, and the regular cutscenes are skipped differently. So you got to kind of remember which is which, and if you try and skip the cutscene too early as well, you can lose a bunch of time there.
Yeah, well, because we saw it earlier when I was getting impatient. It's like just with the like pause button and back is the only option.
Yeah.
All right. So now we've basically ended up out in the desert, and instead of going directly back to Rabanastre the way we're supposed to, I'm going to take a slight detour out to Naldana Fortress because there's a gate crystal there. So it is technically this is faster anyway, but it's also a big advantage for later in the game when I'm going to want to swing by here in the future, because instead of having to hike here, I'm just going to be able to teleport straight back. Oops, and a right here. All right, so yeah, the orange gate crystals, we love them. They let us go anywhere we want that we've already been. You need teleport stones for them. The run's pretty routed out in the early game, a very tight supply, and then later on you just get a jillion of them from grinding for other stuff. All right, so Balthier and Fran have now said goodbye because they're off to do Sky Pirate things. They were like, okay, that was a very unpleasant adventure. We're just going to go and get a drink. And Barsha's sort of wandered off to try and talk to the Resistance, who probably want to put him in jail because they think he killed the king. He didn't, but like it doesn't really matter. Oops, right. And now Varn's natural instinct on like getting out of jail is to brag about his crime. And he's like, well, where are all my friends? Where's Penelo? I want to tell her about how I stole this cool shiny rock and put my life in danger, and surely that will endear me to her, right? Like, kids.
You mean girls don't like crime?
Well, like, not crime that gets your head taken off, certainly. Like, I don't know. Like, despite all your efforts...
I have some life changes to make.
So we've crept in on a secret meeting here, and Barsh is now part of the party. So he's technically our first permanent party member other than Varn, but we're going to get like Balthier and Fran back in about like 30 seconds. So they're basically all at the same time. Character differences in this game are pretty minor. There are some stat changes, difference, and hilarious enough, due to like everyone having their own different attack animations with different weapons, technically every different character has slightly better or worse with different weapons in terms of animation speeds.
Oh yeah, I know Balthier is slow with the gun.
Yes, because he gets the cool pose before he shoots.
Yeah, and I think Fran also has a unique animation with the bow and arrow as well.
And Penelo's also bad with guns, I think, and Balthier's also bad with bows. He's just like, he can't help but show off. In most situations, you don't really care, but like in speedrun, because we're actually going to be using guns quite a bit, it is actually a bit relevant because it's just free time save in terms of where you allocate things. So I've just taken on a completely optional hunt. You don't need to do this to beat the game. It offers a lot of value because using it gives me access to a better clan rank.
Yeah, we'll need the clan rank to access their shop, the Centurio shop, for decoy and oil, which is sold specifically there and nowhere else.
Another change in Zodiac, I think the like green magics in the original game were just kind of all over the place. So we just bop this wolf here and make our way back. Lovely, that was easy. And yeah, we'll cash in on this later on. But decoy is quite a game changer because the game has a bit of an aggro system, sort of like generally speaking, enemies will favor attacking healers because they know shoot this guy first. They've read that. War crimes are fine, right? But it's a little difficult to sort of consistently exploit. I'm going to turn battle speed back down to slow because the next few segments are going to consist of pretty much nothing but running away from enemies. So no sense giving them any advantages. So in the meantime, while we've been off in jail, Penelo's being kidnapped by headhunters who are after Balthier because like he gave her his handkerchief and promised her to I'll get Vaan back, and so they've assumed they're connected. Interestingly enough, one of these cutscenes actually got taken out of the original game's Japanese release because there'd been at the time a sort of a kidnapping, which they were like, okay, it's probably not very sensitive to put this in our big expensive game. So there's little bits of trivia. But yeah, Balthier has been very kind and offers his airship, and we've now met Lamont, another extremely definitely believe who you say you are character. Who wants to go to the Lusu mines as well, where we're headed. What a coincidence.
Vaughn's a big jerk in the cutscenes.
Yeah, he's just this fascinating thing of explicitly being told, remember that, Bash is supposed to be dead.
Don't say
No
anyone's
names.
real names. We're meant to be incognito here.
Just immediate, foot in mouth right away.
Yeah.
Yep. Oop. All right. Skip this little cutscene here, where we see sort of the Marquis Ondor walking out, sort of being sort of blackmailed by the judge. Geese is such a jerk, so smug. And yeah, I guess the other thing that's really fascinating, because obviously the team that made this, they made Final Fantasy Tactics. They also made Vagrant Story, and the more you look at this, the more we really love these these grimy mines and caves and weird sort of semi-industrial dungeons. It's they keep on making them.
Yeah, this dungeon is also the first time I think you encounter traps, and
yeah, I think you're right.
I was not expecting it in my casual playthrough. I was like, oh, there's treasure over here. And I get exploded. And I'm like, cool, that's nice.
Yeah.
You don't face them at any other point.
Wait up. We'll not be able to take them all. Fight who we
So
must
the good news is Penelo's free. The bad news is that we found the bounty hunters and they want to, kill us. But fortunately, they don't know the secret recipe to always escape from bounty hunters. It's just run 3 screens away, and then they just give up. That's the rules. I didn't write them. Don't say I'm abusing it.
Yeah, we're chasing Lamont through the mines here because he's run away. I think he's grabbed something from memory.
Well, I guess he's realised that this is a sticky situation. I didn't sign up for this nonsense, and it's we've taken them at their word that they let Penelo go. They could have been lying, but they weren't. So we've got no reason to be here. So yeah, if I dawdle, then there are 4 Bangar that are going to eat my face. They're ludicrously out of my league right now. But as soon as you go past this cutscene, it's oh, we've just lost them. It doesn't matter how close they were. They could have been literally a centimetre before the screen transition, charging their attacks, and it's now the game just decides they've given up. I won't complain. It would be quite irritating having to deal with them for a 4th screen. So the bad news is that we've got no way to get to Penelo. So instead, we've decided that the right approach is to cause a ruckus and get the attention of the local authorities. So we're coming right up on one of the few things that you probably know about Final Fantasy XII if you've never played it. So we're just going to go through 2 screens here.
Bosch lives will be the first line.
Well, you never know. Come on, say the line, Vaan.
I'm Captain Bosch von Rotzenberg of Dalmasca.
Do you mind if I cut in with a donation?
By all means.
We've got $100 from Chili Pepper that says, yo, is that the real Bosch von Rosenberg Dalmasca?
You better believe it.
Please put this towards the Uno incentive. Happy ASM 2026 and good luck with the runs.
Very well done, Chili Pepper.
And I got the 2 shout. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, if you stand on the exact right little pixel there with Vaan's sort of left leg just on the carpet, you get the attention of all those different tour guides there, and they'll get you in a second shout. But yeah, I've got maybe a coin flip chance of getting that on most runs, so I'm pretty happy. So after a few more cutscenes, we just have a meeting with the Marquis, and then we get to skip more cutscenes. But soon we're going to be on the Imperial Dreadnought, because their big plan apparently is get captured deliberately, and then you can rescue Ash. Surely that won't end in disaster. So I've probably got a bit more dead air for now. Because, yeah, many cutscenes to skip. Oop. Yeah, there we go.
Do you mind if I cut in then and tell people what we are fundraising for?
Please do.
So we are here at ASM. We're raising money for Game on Cancer. This charity funds early cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research to make this the last generation to die from cancer. So any donations will go towards that. And you can donate at donate.ausspeedruns.com. I'll also point out that we have donation matches happening at the moment, so anything you donate will be doubled. Get your donations in.
Nice. Okay. So we got Voster joining the party. He's an absolute unit. He's going to be central to the early game speedrun tech, and I've got pretty good luck in my positioning. Awesome. I've been checking my menu there because I'm checking the step count. So Voster has an ability called Traveler, which does damage based on the in-game step counter, the last 3 digits. And I wanted it to be around 100 because I'm going to use him to no-sell a mini-boss encounter here. He also comes in like ahead of your party's level by like 4 levels, and he's got like way better gear. So you put him in front, and he can just soak up damage. I should probably put the game in wait as well. Nah, that takes time.
Yeah, so Traveler is like a flat damage spell, but it does have a multiplier based on the height. It's based on 1 to 10 steps below the 1,000, closest to the 1,000 that you get the steps on.
That stings. Yeah, fortunately for this fight, it's not quite that punishing. I don't need to hit the 10k damage, so I can be like quite a bit less, and it's all right.
Fear not their numbers.
But my health is a bit
Take down
worrying.
the leaders and the others will follow.
So I think this, I'm fairly confident that it's this fight where my casual playthrough ended when I was 10 or
Nice.
11 years old maybe.
There's so many of them.
I just couldn't figure it out.
I stopped way earlier than this, way back then.
If it wasn't, it's the boss shortly after this. They like get locked up and then they have to escape. It's very close to this point though.
Yeah.
We're only like you know, less than a third through
Yeah.
the run.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Something that always bothered me was these long congratulations scenes.
That's the only time we'll see it in this
Okay.
speedrun. So yeah, like basically if you can skip the boss cut, like the boss death cutscene, then that's what leads into the congratulations.
Right.
It's just, that's the only boss you fight that doesn't have a death cutscene. Because they're like, there's not actually a boss, it's just like 2 random judges and their squad of goons. So
That explains why I saw so many then.
yes.
It's here. It's the boss that we're on.
Yeah,
the way to
you're going
now.
up to Geese.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the judge. I
Yeah.
couldn't beat him or her, and I was just like, I'm going back to Final Fantasy X. I'm playing Blitzball.
To be fair, Blitzball is great.
Yeah, like,
I'm a huge
I'd play
fan
Blitzball.
of Blitzball.
all right. So I do need to grab 2 little pieces of loot on the way out. Very thoughtfully, the Empire have just like loaded up their cargo bay with some like reflect gamotes. So that's, I can't remember if other FF games had before this had it, but like you've got little spells in a can basically. So it's like little consumable item that just like goes, oh, you use this and it just makes reflector happen.
Yeah, that's in a lot of, at the very least, it might not have been in FF1, but 2 definitely has it. 8 has it. You actually use the stones. They're the stones that you get.
Oh, of course. This is the whole like that's the core of the junction system.
You can refine them and do stuff with it. But yeah, you get like, you know, Kiraga stones and aura stones and shell stones and death stones and all that stuff. So 10 less so, I think. But yeah, definitely another staple Final Fantasy thing.
So I'm going to use one of them immediately. And, well, here we go. Judge Geese. So I'm going to set up an initial reflect bounce setup. So, you know, classic, that's a staple. I mean, like, at least FF5, like, if not longer, that's been a thing. So I'm going to start by turning Varn's Gambits back on to make him target my party, and then just use this Eroga mode to bop away all the ads. And now we're just going to completely, like, dog walk Geese. Like, sucked in, sucks to be you. There's a slight luck component there. If you KO him with like a direct attack or with your own Reflected Dark, that's good, because you get the KO. if he KOs himself with the arrow reflected off him, then that's we don't get the LP for beating him, which does have some routing implications. So,
So just to explain a little bit of what happened.
Yeah, please.
oh yeah, of course. So,
when you have reflect on all of your party and you do a damage dealing spell or an item on them, it bounces around your party and then it does triple damage if you've got 3 people or quadruple damage if you've got 4 people in your party back to the boss. So we'll be setting up Ash and Penelo a bit later as mages to do that for some bosses. It's really good for the mid game. There is a couple of end game bosses that use them still, but it does drop off afterwards.
when I first was playing this game, I thought, oh man, I've got this super powerful Eroga mode. I'll use that, and then I realized that, oh shit, okay, that is a load the autosave. I need that reflector mode for later.
Yeah, that is used exactly once in Final Fantasy IX's any percent, bouncing a spell off your party with reflect. When I was looking at this game, I didn't until you sent me all the resources to look at and everything. I really didn't realize this game had as much staple mechanics from other Final Fantasy speedruns. It is very much a collection of a lot of the other games, and I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah, well,
it's just such a fundamental departure from all the other games, but it's still, it still is a Final Fantasy game, very much.
I guess, under the hood, it's still running a lot of those same systems. The reflect logic, the way that your scan Libra, whatever you call it, info
Libra,
works.
yeah.
All right. So we've basically decided to run off and look for another shiny rock because Ash is like, let's prove my birthright. And Vossa immediately has followed us. A little suspicious, but I'm not going to look the gift horse in the mouth because, he's awesome. He's tanky and he can take hits like nobody's business. So once again, he's going to be in the lead, and he is central to the next 3 boss fights.
We'll be depending on the Traveler strat again.
So Golden Amulet I picked up then. Ooh, Barsh, heal yourself. Ah, right. I need to also upgrade Barsh's Gambit. Potions don't cut it anymore. We need high potions. Good stuff.
Yeah, so we'll be equipping the Golden Amulet on, I can't remember who, Penelo, I think?
I think initially Ash, but Penelo gets it later.
Yeah. And we'll be doing some grinding in trial mode with them, not now, but in a bit.
Yeah.
Just to get a lot of life points, just to get them all set up for their mage reflecting strat.
Just cuts down the amount of grinding you have to do. It's not strictly necessary, but all the alternatives involve spending more time to do something. And you know what we don't like to do in... Oh, come on, dude. Yeah, you were talking about traps.
Sorry.
That's all right. We'll just go through the thing here, and then, once Voss has not got enemies around, he's got a Phoenix down Gambit that'll just bring Barsh back. All better.
Yeah, in my casual playthrough, I would just had someone who had Libra, so I could see where I was going and not get caught out.
And speaking of sort of where casual play runs falls off, for me, this section of the game is where a lot of initial casual runs go to die because you've got this huge bland area full of all the same enemies, and and in the original PS2 release, it didn't even have a new music track for the sort of the second area. It's really, really dull. But we're zipping through at X4, so we don't really care. On the next screen, I'm going to do a setup for Traveler, and I'm going to ask you both to remember the number that I check after doing that. Because, critical. So, yep, okay. 150, that's easy.
That's easy, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think I can remember that.
when I next use Traveler, I want my step count to be between 1 and 10 less than that. So basically from 140 to 149.
Yeah.
If it does that, then it'll do 10,000 damage. If it goes over, it rolls around and is basically worthless. And if it's shy, then it's only going to do about 3,000 damage, and that won't cut it against the boss that I'm about to fight. So, strictly speaking, for this one, you don't have to use Traveler for it. You can use Dark, but my Gambits and party aren't quite set up for it. It is weak to Dark rather. It's a holy element bird, but no, we're sticking with the plan for Traveler. So that was 150, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was 150. Yeah.
Beautiful. Get a free heal here. Perfect. Going to turn Voss's gambits off as well, because when you've got your gambits on, you sort of step around a bit. All right. Okay, no further. Oh, 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 oh. Boom.
Nice.
Sucks to be you.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I saw this strapping, it was like, wait. He looked away for a second.
Yeah, and of course, like, if you like overstep, then it's just like 2 damage and you whiff it, and it's the most humiliating thing ever.
Yeah, sometimes you might see like Nicosar
145.
walking around, and that would be to get Traveller steps
Yeah.
up.
So right now, I'm basically just going to do an immediate re-step. So I'm just going to do 3 laps of the courtyard here. That was 145. And I should be about 150 behind that target at like right before starting the next boss. So 145 is our target. That's 2 laps, right?
Yes, that is, yeah.
Yep, beautiful.
It's insane that this is faster.
Yeah, well, it's not the fastest. Like, world record chooses to fight the Garuda with Dark, and
Yeah.
then only does 1 Traveller for like the Demon Wall coming up. But
Right.
yeah, it's still like it's the sort of the safe option. 145. So I want to be on about 0 when I start this little encounter here. Okay, I need to burn a few more. Yeah, that'll do it. Cool. So, optional Demon Wall boss here. Very difficult. We're not fighting it.
Run. We better decide fast.
Easy choice, Vaughn. Bye. And like, you can just walk through the door, and then of course, like, you know, oh, the tomb design is like, yeah, sucker. What's your reward? Or like, it's another Demon Wall.
The wall comes. We must be quick. Together we can bring it down.
Shout out to Dracodan if he's able to tune in. He's like a big fan of that phrase. All right, so 145. And we're just going to bring Balthier and Ash into the party here to do a bit of chip damage, because this thing has like a tiny bit more than 10k health. Just 1 more step, and that should do it. Yep, beautiful. So we could see it wasn't the instant KO. Blind on Bush is irritating. I'm just going to manually heal that now, because I'm going to use him for the boss fight coming up. And yeah, you know, obviously he's melee spec'd at the moment, and if he's missing all of his attacks, that's not going to help me. Irritatingly, there are some status ailments in this game that persist even if you get KO'd, and blind is one of them. I don't know why.
Oh,
They just
really?
wanted to- yeah, blind.
That's a real surprise.
I think oil as well.
Yeah, I know oil does. Ask
And
me how I know.
disease.
Yep, disease.
Everyone's least favorite.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's dark. Oops. Okay, I'm just having some adjusting to the monitor there. All right. So we've got our last Traveller setup coming up, and this is the one that matters most, because there are no recovery strats for Belias. You get the Traveller, or you know, think about your actions and you try again. So, bump, 586. Oops, wrong side.
Do you mind if I come in and tell people about our sponsors?
Yeah.
By all means.
Wonderful. So we are sponsored by RetroTink. Thank you very much to our partner there. RetroTink is all about allowing you to experience your favourite vintage games on modern screens. They ship all across Australia, and their products range from a simple plug-and-play adapters to high-end video processors, and are available on their website at retrotink.com. If you're here at the event ASM, you can experience their range in our playroom. They're available on site, so no matter what solution you choose, their mission always stays the same: help you rediscover your retro consoles in the best way possible with the best picture performance.
Can vouch. I've got a 5X. It's really good.
Okay, that stone is a bit irritating, but that's why I bought gold needles. 586. I just need to remember that. 586. Oh, and the other irritating thing with the guest character compared to like a, you know, sort of like a full time, is that if they get KO'd, you lose active control of your party. So I'm just going to take a bit of time out here and use that gold needle, if I can find it, on Vossler, because yeah, if he gets petrified, that's just going to be a giant pain in the neck. And 586 is my target. I'm just going to, yeah, no, I should be all right. Yeah, and Fran's also been KO'd. That's fine. I'm just going to shove like a bunch of disposable minions at the problem, and we'll Phoenix down them later, right? Like, they'll be fine. So we're coming up to our first Esper battle. Belias is a pretty tough customer for the sort of the pace we've gone through the game. So I'm just gonna we're gonna res all of these folks. Oh right, got to turn Voss's Gambits on to do that at low effort. And that's our combat suite for this lot. And we'll just do a bit of more manual healing before we start the fight. Bosch wants it and Voster wants it. 586, 586, 586. Alright, so we're going to start the fight getting Vossler to use a shock mote to draw aggro, because he's way more durable than the rest of the party. 586, 586, 586, 586.
Oh, we've gone over.
Okay, yeah, those some costly steps there. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to be quite precise in my movements. Yeah, I did lose a few steps in that previous section, but we'll just have to deal with it. Okay. Well, we'll see how we go. 586, 586, 586. Well, I guess we'll see where we're at now.
That looked a lot tighter, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, the issues were mostly in the previous screen, so we'll see, we'll see. Okay, that's good. Well, like, not like comfy, but it's good enough. And I'm going to switch to controlling Vossler and turn his Gambits off so he doesn't step. Cool. All right, so if you... we need to... The tricky thing about Belias is that he's got significantly more health than the previous bosses, so we need to wear his health down to about 2/3. 583. Okay, I'm going to take Vossler off attacking, like one more attack, and then I'm going to just put him on potion duty. Good. Okay, 585. So unfortunately, it does mean I'm losing out on a lot of combat power. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's also a problem. So yeah, I should have turned battle speed up, which may well be a difficult thing from this point on. Okay, Voster going down is irritating, but not the end of the world, because we can Phoenix down him, and we're still on 585. And we're just going to do an ATB reset here on Bosch. So basically, if you take his gear off and on again right away, then he will just use, like, finish his animation and just do whatever you want him to.
Yeah,
All right.
So it's like an action cancel.
There we go. So that was very scuffed, but we, you know, we got it. I was not looking forward to having to run that one back. And now, oh, Balthier going down is irritating for that, because his LP budget is very tight compared to everybody else's. I'm just going to res him now. And we're going to do our first bit of licensing. So I'm just going to get some jobs set up. I'm going to start with a little bit extra on Balthier. So another change you get, so look, an Esper's turned up, but in the remaster, you can now access a second job board. So you can effectively just add 2 jobs together, and it's as busted as you think it would be, because you get 2 completely different sets of abilities, and they can just sort of complement each other enormously. Going to make Balthier a Shikari, because that's a... generally very useful for speedrun. It's got a very kind board layout in terms of where a lot of critical licenses go. Bosch and Fran are going to be mechanists, and for now I'm just going to ignore them after that initial assignment. And then Ash and Penella are going to be black mages, and yeah, their job is basically just going to be offensive spell casting for the rest of the run. We've got quite a bit more licensing to do, so if we do have anything that we'd like to say, it's an excellent time for it.
No worries. So at the moment, I'll tell you about our incentives. So we've got some incentives that are available on the website, but for particular upcoming, we've got Jack and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, Texture Corruption Overload Glitch. We have $1,450 left on that, so do donate to that if you want to see some corrupt glitch stuff. We also have Tetris Grandmaster for Absolute Eye, so at normal 4.1 attempts. So that just adds more attempts onto the run. Do recommend that you get your donations in for that. We also thought I'd just take the moment to say that we are also sponsored by Urban Climb, united by Uncommon Ground. They exist to inspire lifelong adventure to all the speedrunners. They welcome you onto their clubs with 7 in Australians nationwide and are perfect for all skill levels. We do have one here in Adelaide that's just down Hindley Street, so if you are interested in going.
Thank you very much. So, Ash and Penelo, broadly speaking, are going to be kitted out the same in the long run, but in the short term, Ash is going to prioritise getting the Golden Amulet license that lets her earn boosted LP, whereas Penelo is taking a more direct route to sort of Black Mage spellcasting and ailing. And important here that I do remember to take away equipment from basically everyone apart from Balthier, and put the Golden Amulet on Ash. Several times I have just forgotten that last step, and I've like gone through a decent chunk, and Ash has not been getting her double LP, and then I've just had to waste a bunch of time like grinding to earn it back. Oh, right, Ash's Gambits are off from yeah, that Belias fight where I needed her to not step. That'll be fine. So yeah, we've gotten our shiny rock. It's shiny, and like I can't remember what color the Dawn Shard is. Is it purple?
Is it the blue one?
Maybe. I think it's purple. I think the blue one's the Midlight Shard that you basically never
blue's
see.
the Dusk Shard. And
No,
then, is it?
I think Dusk is orange.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, you know, it's, unfortunately for us, it's like this is what the Empire was after the whole time. They've basically just like been following us, and it's like, you got the shiny rock, well, we'll take it from you, and we're just going to seethe and hand it over because we don't really have a choice. Unfortunately, they decided to test it in their ship's reactor, and it's going to make Fran go berserk, and it's going to sort of all hell breaks loose. And so this is our chance to sort of get out of here. And we're going to start, just turn Balthier's Gambits off, and we're going to summon our new friend Belias, and he is going to just completely destroy this fight. So,
by the way, Vossler has...
Oh yeah, he's betrayed us.
He's betrayed us, by the way. We no longer see Vossler after this.
Yeah, friendship ended with Vossler. Belias is my new best friend. So basically, because Balthier's Gambits are off, he's not earning any aggro, so Voss is just going to waste his time doing 0 damage to our summon. Sorry, mate, it's not going to help.
I struggled so much with this fight. I mean, he gets the berserk when he's like at a fifth of his health left or something like that, and I'm like, I was burning through all my resources trying to fight it, and I forgot I had Belias.
To be fair, he's only just turned up, and you might not have even had the LP for him. Also, like the ship just blew up. So yeah, the Nethicite sort of, you know, the shiny rock plot artifacts in this game, they're basically depleted. Like they're basically uranium. You can make horrible explosions happen. So everyone wants them. No one figures out how to use them, apart from Sid, because he's just built different.
I think you mean Dr. Sid.
Dr. Sid. Thank you. Yeah, he earned it. All right, very important shopping trip here. So this is cashing in on that hunt I did earlier. Decoy and oil, both very handy. Oil's a hilarious status effect. Where you just like, if you're covered in oil, you take triple damage from fire attacks.
Yeah.
We don't use it much, but the fights that it comes in like handy for, it's absolutely crucial. All right. So the upshot of blowing up that ship and getting away with our newly like sort of exhausted shiny rock is that we don't know how to use it. So like our plan is to go and talk to the Garif. There's sort of like people down in the south who sort of kept to the old ways. Maybe they know something about it. Spoiler alert, they don't. But you know, we don't know that. So we're going to go and ask their advice. So Giza Plains has like a dry and a rain cycle. after you get to this point in the game, so new pathways have opened up, and now we can just sort of go south from where we've been earlier. Chocobos move very fast in 4x speed. They were clearly made in mind of you're running on regular and you're sick of being so slow running around, but it does make the navigation a little bit tricky sometimes. Other benefits, of course, is that you don't ever have to worry about enemies, so they don't aggro to you. You're not technically invulnerable, but nothing can attack you in the first place. So, yeah, very handy for getting around. Only downsides are you can't always get them. I'm going to use this teleport crystal here just to make sure I touch it, because I'm not leaving by the gate crystal, but the gate crystal is how I have to return here. So there's not going to be a single visit to Jahara. The first time we're here, it's basically just all talking and cutscenes. So not all the cuts, as we can see, not all the dialogue in the game is voiced. And as we sort of get later into the game, more and more of the cutscenes are going to be of the unvoiced variety. And unfortunately, the unvoiced cutscenes aren't skippable because you've got to mash through the dialogue. So sort of our first big dose of them is here in Jahara, and there'll be more later on. Also, sort of from a casual point of view, this is the point where the game has really opened up. So after you do the Tomb of Wraithwall and you blow up Leviathan, you get access to a huge amount of extra areas. You're able to buy a lot more powerful abilities. That's when you get your T2 magics. You get Fira, Blizzara, Thundara, all of that. And it's possible to achieve things in combat without needing to be super, super, super twinked out, because you could just, get access to the obvious good options.
Yeah, before this point, anytime you would save it, Crystal would say, "Oh, you won't be able to leave here. Are you sure?"
Yeah. And you can actually do a lot of stuff from this point on, way ahead of sort of the intended progression. In the original PS2, you could get the Zodiac spear at this point in time if you just walked up into Nabadis. It's different in Remaster anyway, but... Anyway, in the process of going around here, there we go, too early on the cutscene skip, we've bumped into Larsa, the little guy who sort of told us he was called Lamont back in the mines in Bejerba. Turns out he's the Emperor's youngest son, and he doesn't like all this war stuff, and he's going to sort of be our hostage, basically, and sort of try and go off and, go on a peace mission. He's a well-meaning young fellow. I will be making some use of him because he has a pretty useful white magic suite, and we've got a lot of grinding coming up. So, Chocobo to get out of here, and we're on our way now, to Golmore Jungle. We're going to walk past the Hene mines. Right now, it's like private property, don't enter. And we're fine, we weren't going to go here anyway, but we'll be coming back here later. For now, just through this little pass, and once we're done with our cutscenes, showing us sort of what's happening back at the Empire, which is basically everyone's getting ready to backstab everybody else. I really do like the game's plot's obviously very different by Final Fantasy standards, but I enjoyed it when it came out. And particularly, I really like the effort that went into the English localization. All the characters have a wonderfully sort of sort of Shakespearean kind of flavor to them. I don't know. Also, all the judges are behind their helmets, so they constantly sound like they're talking through a tin can.
I really struggled with remembering the judge names because I couldn't see their faces. They'd be saying, "Oh, Judge Gabranth," or whatever. Who?
Yeah.
They look exactly the same.
All right, so just going to sell a bunch of my unneeded gear here. Critically, I need to not sell the chromed leathers. Those are necessary for later on, so keeping hold of those. But the diamond armlet's going to go, and now it's shopping time. So Thundara is going to be the core of my combat for the next little while. I'm going to set up 2 characters as mages, and so we want the mage's hat and the mage's habit. But we need to actually buy those licenses. So we're going to get Penelo optimized, and then Ash, and then get Gambit set up. So broadly speaking, Penelo is going to be zapping everything that moves. and Balthier is going to be pivoted around to act as a thief for a little bit, because there are a small number of enemies here with some potentially very valuable items to steal. So I'm going to be going into trial mode for 3 trips to pad out our license points and get a few useful consumables. So in the meantime, passage through the jungle is being barred by the Vieira who live here, who are like, you know, you've got baggage. We want to talk to Fran. They don't say it like that, but it is, because her sister's gone missing and we need to rescue her. But we're just going to detour out into trial mode. Also useful from here is the diamond armlets that we're going to use to steal. Oh, I didn't change my party, did I?
Do you have the golden armlet equipped correctly?
Yes, Ash is all good with that golden amulet, but thank you for the reminder, because goodness knows I have mucked that up in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, good. This is, like, obviously these rats are just nothing now. So for this next level, I'm going to flee past these enemies because I need to get to an optional enemy in the trial called the Right Rampager, because it's got a useful item that it can drop and potentially steal. So I want to keep an eye out for bubble motes and for reverse motes. By the time I'm done with these 3 trial levels, I need at least 1 bubble mote. So if I don't succeed in stealing or dropping one by the 3rd one, I need to open... Oh, that was very rude of you, dude. All right. I realize also I forgot to set Lars's gambits up, but that's fine. So yeah, unlike in the original game, we can just control our allies' gambits. So Lars is basically just going to be on hard support. And Phoenix down, where are you?
Do you mind if I pop in with a donation?
By all means.
So we got $100 from Chili Pepper, who says, perfectly fair portraying you, given that you kept making him run just under 10k steps and then fight bosses. Please put this towards the Uno incentive. Which, by the way, the Uno incentive is for Super Light 2000 Series Uno to play Uno in real life while also playing Uno on game, which sounds really fun. So get your donations in. Thank you.
Thank you. So now Penello has basically exhausted her batteries, so I need to bring Ash in as the other caster here. So got to get her licensed up first before I can do that. And they're essentially just following parallel courses here. So on Ash's side, I need to then make sure I've got the license for the Storm Staff and for Thundara, and then all the nice extra black magics. So there are 3 types of armor in the game. There's light armor, heavy armor, and mystic armor. Heavy armor is basically, you know, set up for your full melee dudes, gives you a strength boost, has the best defense. Light armor gives you a health boost, which is going to be very relevant for our gunners later on in the game. And then mystic armor boosts your magic, but also importantly your MP. And then Gambit Ash as well, Thundara rather than attack. And highest levels, my targeting logic here, because it's very relevant for later in the game. So these judges here, we should be able to get them without too much difficulty. Nice. Very nice. All right. Skip this cutscene here, but it's basically, you know, like the village elder telling Fran, it's like, you suck, you ran away from us, you're dead to us, also your sister's gone missing, please find her, like, we're not going to lift a finger. Like, Fran takes it in stride, despite some extremely, like, poorly thought out, like, interjections from Vaughn. Balthier just rolling his eyes. And we just need to do a little more shopping here, because we earn more money from that diamond arm that we picked up in trials. So now we need to get a mage's hat also for Ash, and a brigandine light armor body piece, because that's going to be Balthier's later on. Going to use the crystal just for a heal, and then 1 more set of trials before teleporting back to Jahara, because that's the quick way to get to the Henna Mines. And there's a few more shopping things. So essentially, yeah, 2 out of 3, and this is going to be the last sort of last LP grind. But we've got a lot of we've got money grinding coming up after that. So once again, just make sure turbo mode's on and yeah, nab the armlet, let the gambits take care of things. Cool. There's another. Okay, so this is the one we need to pay attention to. Look for that bubble moat. Nope. Ah well. That's a bit irritating. And then here's another, like a potential big swing. There's like a 3% chance for that werewolf there to be able to steal berserker braces from it, which I've got other ways to get them, but they are like a necessary item for the run, which basically just give you permanent berserk while they're equipped. Like I know, like historically, berserk's not always been very consistent. I think in FF games, like sometimes it sort of makes you sort of attack friends. I think, but in this game, it's just all upside. Like. You can't be directly controlled, but you will just oops, not try mode again, that's too soon. You just mindlessly attack the nearest enemy. You get a massive boost to your damage and a reduction to your charge time. So later on...
I can't think of a game off the top of my head where Berserk makes you hit party.
Okay, I must be confused then.
It might. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but it's escaping me which one that might be. But there might also be something that does like confuse and Berserk.
Yeah,
or
probably.
Something like that. But
funnily enough, in this game, Berserk also makes you immune to confuse, which is useful.
Actually, speaking of status elements, this is one of 2 games in the entire series that has the reverse status, which I don't know if that's used in the speedrun for this game at all.
It is, briefly. Right, I forgot.
Yeah, reverse just switches damage and healing.
Yeah, it's really fun. Now, I did forget to equip Penelo with the golden amulet, so I just need to make sure I do it before like doing much more in this trial mode run here. Because yeah, she's supposed to get it for the 3rd one. Yeah, so conveniently, the reverse license is like ludicrously hard to get because, or rather the spell, because I think you got to get your clan rank up to like 1 billion. But you do conveniently get reverse moats, which necessary for very desirable for 2 bosses. If I'm lucky and I get one in the next little area, I'll probably use it for a 3rd boss, but it's pretty low odds, so not likely. All right. Okay, I got an item. I think
there was 2 bubble modes.
Yeah, I think
beautiful.
that was 2.
Excellent.
Yeah, that absolutely was.
So we'll just cruise through here because there's a guaranteed bubble moat in a chest in this level coming up, but it takes time to grab it, so it's like quicker to just not do it.
Do you need 1 or 2?
Only 1.
Okay. It might have said 2 bubble modes.
I think it said 2.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain. It's just a single boss fight where you need it. So that's good. So once we beat this set of judges, that's going to be it for trial mode. And I don't think we got anyone KO'd in any of those trial mode runs, which is good because if you're KO'd, you don't get LP, and it can complicate your licensing. So with that done, just need to do a bit more shopping. Need to get the classic FF staple dagger for Balthier. Need to sell first. Don't start shopping until you actually have the money.
What, they don't take credit cards here?
Apparently not. But yeah, I don't know how to say it in French. Is it main gauche? Main gauche? Whatever.
Main gauche?
I always read it as gauche.
Maybe.
But I am sure that's wrong.
But anyway, yeah, the dagger for blocking, because, everyone likes being able to block. So, Balthier from this point on is going to be the leading man, as he likes to call himself. He's going to be the party leader basically the whole way. And I'm going to equip him with a dagger with a very high block rate and a bunch of light armor to boost his max HP. And he's basically just going to be a punching bag and constantly heal himself with potions.
Yeah, so he's going to be the tank. We're going to be, in later fights, be casting decoy on Balthier for the reflect stuff. And just generally when you're in a boss fight.
Oh, and that bronze shield I got from trial mode is a nice little, it doesn't actually mean much, but it's good to have just for the sake of it. All right. And then, get this magic lore down here. So the interesting thing is if you've got laws that are shared across both license board, it lets you sort of jump around across those boards. So that magic lore I bought there lets me get these potion laws without having to go through all of the intervening spaces. Very handy.
Balthier's going to be healing himself as well, so that the other characters can be DPSing down.
Because yeah, the general rule is if you are healing, then you're not actually like doing anything. You know, the easiest way to win the fight is just to KO all the enemies. So you're generally better off specializing. Because yeah, if your attackers are having to take time off to heal, then that's just time they could be using to destroy things. Now Pinello, I'm going to get this swiftness license. So they basically let you charge up your meter faster. They're sort of like free improvement. Depending on how you play, they're not necessarily like vital, but they're good to have. And for the gunners later on, they're critical.
Yeah, I think also Vaughn is basically just going to be casting Reflect on everyone and not doing much else.
Yes, so Vaughn is going to be hard support from this point on. Reflect, and then later in the game he's also going to be setting up Protect, just because there's a lot of like, Balthier has to deal with a lot of stuff coming his way, so it's very good to be able to mitigate that.
Yeah, so if any of the statuses wear off, we'll be switching Vaughn back in to re-up those.
So 2 useful licenses that I'm picking up here with Ash are Headsman, which gives her bonus MP every time she gets a KO, and Serenity, which gives her a massive boost to her magic power when she's at max HP. Full HP, rather. All right, yes, and we also want to change Balthier's gambits. So he is now just, Mr. High Potion. High potions for his friends, high potions for himself. Oh, right. Also, yeah, Nicosar, for whatever reason, when they did the remaster, they changed the name of a bunch of the status healing items. So I think that like the confusion curing item used to be smelling salts, and now it's Nicosar. Like the alarm clock that woke you up from sleep is now a prince's kiss.
Yeah.
And I think, where are we? LA less than 50. Yep. And speaking of bubble motes, we got those ones earlier. Larsa has access to the bubble spell, which is just such a huge power boost. It literally just casts it on someone and they get double HP. Really, really good. Only downside is that it's expensive to maintain. Setting up some extra gambits here for the future on the casters. So I'm going to get a self-targeting Thundara gambit on both Pinello and Ash, but I'm going to leave it switched off for now. Because it's just there for boss fights when I want to do reflect bounce setups.
The bubble spell was my MVP spell in my playthrough.
Everything
just survive.
You just get so much more margin for error when you have twice as much health. Now the centerpiece here as well is just this decoy on Balthier, on Ash. That's going to do a lot of carrying. And we'll set Vaughn up as well to just get, reflect. So basically his priority is just to make sure that everyone's there, and we'll enable reflect bounce setups. And my gunners for now, Fran and Bash are just sort of chilling on the bench. They don't need to do anything. Oh, yep, and also need to equip. And, oh wait, no, not just optimize. Equip the Dawn Shard on Balthier. So, yeah, this is our plot artifact, Shiny Rock. It has the effect, it's hilarious, like a source of common newbie complaints of like, I can't cast any spells, why is my MP 0? Equipping the Dawn Shard means that you have 0 MP, because like the idea is it's this, magic artifact that just drains magic out of the environment and charges it up for future use. So we're using it deliberately here because it also gives a massive boost to magic defense. And later on in the game, it's used to solve some puzzles. So we just get that out of the way now. Unsurprisingly, the Chocobo doesn't want to go into this horrible, scary mine. So we're just going to leave it outside and proceed. So Henna Mines is sort of the site of our last meaningful bit of grinding.
Yeah, this is where we'll be fighting jellies.
So many jellies.
To get a lot of items.
Another one of those areas which did get a bit of a reputation in casual play, because like you could set up some sort of AFK leveling against them if you're, patient. I was never patient enough to bother. I just did my grinding the old-fashioned way, just staring at the screen like a zombie. I want to bunch up these bats here so I whack them all at once, and it's quicker to get rid of them. I don't have to get rid of them, but it's a bit easier if they're not just eating me constantly while I'm wandering through, and we get LP from beating them up, so that's nice. Okay, we'll get this lost too, just to get a chance to heal and reset decoy. So the other thing that's very important is that we need to make sure that Ash and Penelo are at max health as much as possible, and so getting Balthier decoyed is how we enable that, because then like it doesn't matter how overwhelmed we are. Oh, Larsa got KO'd. Come back, we need you. You are very useful. And we'll just zap these guys, and I'm probably just going to like wander through, beat up the T-Rex as well. Why not? Big enemies are worth 2 license points instead of 1 license point. Isn't that thrilling? And then we're almost going to be ready to start going after jellies, because there's the notorious little junction coming up. One last set of bats to destroy. Awesome. So this junction here, whenever we operate, well, the first time we operate the door when we go in here, a bunch of jellies just drop down from the ceiling and ambush us. And as that sort of like aim off flank kind of thing, they can divide if they're on low health. Also engaging with the game's chain system. Should be on wait, not active. Cool. And I'm not picking up the loot for now, because whenever you pick up loot bags, it delays the chance of increasing your chain level. And higher chain level increases the odds of being able to pick up multiple of the same item. Also just increases the odds of being able to get like good items in the first place. So it's critical when going back and forth through here that I don't fight any enemies. Chain level also resets whenever you load the game, so autosave can't bail me out here. I've got to get this section done effectively in sort of one segment. Once I get to level 3 chain, which is red, there we go. I can freely pick everything up because that's the highest it goes. Cool, there we go. And now I want to get about a 90 chain worth of jellies and pick up all the loot that I can from them. There's a few useful items I'm getting from them. The biggest, most valuable one is just the yellow liquid that they drop, because it retails for a very nice price. I can just sell that at shops and earn a huge pile of gil.
Why are blue jellies dropping yellow?
I have no idea. The game doesn't actually have blue liquid, so maybe that's why. There's green liquid and silver liquid. The silver liquid drops from black enemies. I think the green liquid does drop from green jellies at least.
Does the blue also drop green? Because yellow and green?
I think it's just yellow from these guys.
No, wait.
But it would make sense. Yeah,
yellow,
yeah.
Blue make green. No,
Yeah.
the wrong way around.
Like,
I thought I was smart for a moment.
color theory in Ivalice is weird. So that float mode that I got is also very useful. I only need 1, but it's a pretty low odds to get it in the first place. There's a later on section of the game, so you know those traps that have caused me some trouble already? Float is a useful spell that literally makes your characters float above the floor and makes them completely immune to traps. So I've gotten Shell from the, like, you get like random nice little mini buffs from picking up high level chain drops, but because decoy is like a semi-negative status effect, Shell reduces the chance for your character to get hit by it. It's like, stop like being resilient to magical influence, Balthier. I need you to be a punching bag. But yeah, later on in the game, there's a hallway full of extremely deadly traps that I need to be able to just navigate through, and so the float mode is your ticket to that. It's possible to get through there without it, but it's very painful. It's not worth the horrendous emotional damage that it costs.
Float's another super uncommon one. I know it's in 9. It's in this game.
I think it was in 6.
Yes.
Because you could use it to no-sell Earth bosses.
Yeah, I want to say float is in 6 as well. But yeah, not one that's in like every game.
I think they did just kind of thing like throw the whole kitchen sink. They've got a few other ones in there that are not that common. I think this game is Vanish as well, and it's useless.
Vanish is in 6. Definitely in 6.
Oh, you know what?
Maybe in 9? No. It's an enemy spell that like it's a thing that enemies can use, but I don't think you might not get it for your party.
So I broke the chain there because I was like, I've probably got enough. 90 chain should be enough in the way of like loot from things. If my money's shy, I'll just do like a diamond armlet thing later. So after we skip this cutscene, we're ready for the boss, and I just need to do a bit more licensing.
God, that is such a crazy luxury this version has of a PS2. It's like, oh, my money's short. Trial mode, diamond armlet.
Oh, it's so like I felt dirty when I started learning speedrun, because it's just like, oh yeah, there's literally a 6k diamond armlet waiting for you. Right, and now Penelo needs Serenity as well. And very important, I need to get both of my mages access to the Spellbound lore, because that increases the duration of status effects on you, and so it's going to be critical for Penelo and for Ash, because that will increase the amount of time that they spend with Reflect up on them. Because it's Reflect Bounce Town now.
We've gotten word that Vanish is blue magic in FF9.
Okay. Well, I guess, yeah, it makes sense if it's an enemy technique, then yeah, that's how that rolls. All right. So now we're going to just make sure that Varn's got his, Balthier's got his bubble up. All right, let's just touch that save crystal. Take advantage of that HP lore that I just got. And, oh crap. No. Yeah, walked into the boss room too early. That's on me.
Did you? I don't think you said it reflect on everyone.
Yeah, no, I was not ready. That would have, I mean, it might have been doable, but I'm not willing to chance it. So that's embarrassing. Should have just done my buffing further away from the boss door. It's very, very, like, kind of all these bosses to just go, I'm just going to sit here waiting for you. Like, anytime's fine. Right. So, irritating having to redo that licensing.
I might take this opportunity just to remind people that we are raising money for Game on Cancer. This charity fundraises for early career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research to make sure this is the last generation to die from cancer. So if you donate at donate.ausspeedruns.com, you'll be donating to that charity. Thank you for your generosity, everybody.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to bring Varn in here and just get Reflect set up on the whole party. Fortunately, Decoy just is one of those spells that arbitrarily ignores Reflect. Like, there's not any real logic behind it, it just does. So I'm going to manually refresh Decoy with Ash. And then also going to change Lars's Gambit to attack with Aqua. And so we're basically just going to unload everything on ourselves, because Tiamat coming up, she buffs herself with Reflect, and it's the classic Final Fantasy thing of, oh, you know, Reflect can't block a spell that's already being bounced off Reflect. I am, however, going to stand a bit forward, because she will use a physical attack called Breath at 2 HP thresholds. There we go. And that will just hit all the casters, so nice. There we go. She's a pain in the neck in the sword route version of the speedrun, because you just fight her with, like, you literally just, you know, use basic melee attacks, and she's got a giant pile of health, and it's not fun. So that's the nice thing about this routing. All right, so we've now rescued Fran's sister, yeah, and that's all good. The Vieira of, like, okay, fine, have this, like, little passport to go out of the woods, I guess. So we're going to be turning gambits off on Larsa and Penelo, and we're going to do another little, like, this isn't speedrun tech exactly, like anyone can do this, but it's very easy for, like, casual routing to just not do it. So there is a boss coming up called Elder Worm. We're not going to go to it. It does block the direct path to our next destination, but we can go on a slightly less direct path through the Feywood. Downside of that is that the Feywood is like 10 levels higher than the intended path, because it is basically like a... You jerk. Yeah, I'll try the YOLO here. We can Phoenix down in the next area. Beautiful. Yeah, didn't expect to just get one-shotted that way. Traps. Okay, cool, we're good. Yeah, these Mandragores here mean business. Fine, game, I'll load... Oh, you know what? No, I'm not even going to bother. Because we're basically just fleeing through anyway. Once we're past these enemies, we're back in, like, parameter. So sort of like back in sequence, and like we're once again dealing with roughly level appropriate enemies. So it should be pretty straightforward.
These enemies aren't playing around.
No, they're not. Oh, of course, because I haven't leveled. Like Fran and
Yeah, they're.
Bash are still like not leveled at all. So removing that means that Fran's no longer targeting, Ash is no longer targeting herself, and I can take over the party. Undescribed mechanic: if a character is being targeted by something, then you can't switch them out.
Yeah, that really annoyed me in my playthrough. I'm like, I know these characters are dying. I need to swap someone in right now, and I couldn't.
Yeah. He's got a little cut there of Vane doing politics. So talking to his dad about, hey, you know, how inconvenient would it be if you got murdered and I was the only like available heir and got to launch a coup? Like, wouldn't that suck? Wouldn't that suck,
Just
Dad?
hypothetically. Just hypothetically.
Yeah, like, you know, my hands are stained with blood. What are you going to do about it, Dad? So we've now come to the Holy Mountain, sort of like being used as a bit of an impromptu refugee camp from people fleeing the conflict. The Kiltius here are so far sort of respected and neutral, and everyone looks up to them and it's like, okay, fine, like you can feed the poor, whatever, do your thing. Like we'll just keep a respectful distance while you do that. And the hope here is that we can talk to the Grand Kiltius, dude here, who we're just going to cutscene skip away from, and he can broker a peace between the Empire and Dalmasca. Unfortunately, we find out, oh no, the Emperor Gramus has been murdered, and Vane Solidor is in charge now, and like, definitely wasn't responsible for this. Like, definitely not. It was the Senate. Definitely. That's why they've all been executed, and like, no one can interrogate them. So, understandably, Lars is a bit upset that his dad has been murdered, so he's left the party. He'll get over it. I mean, like, what can I say? Like, you know, like, Vane's gonna get his. I'll just leave it there. But for now, we've basically been sent off to find the Sword of Kings, which apparently can shatter Nethicite. So, because the big worry is that, like, the Empire's got, like, you know, all the magic shiny rocks. So we've only got one, and we don't even know how to use it. So, like, what do?
Yeah, we've been collecting stuff called Nethicite, by the way.
Yeah. Like, no one ever knows how to use it. No one explains it. But Sid's got, like, the magic touch, and he's figured out how to make it, like, artificial stuff, which he's super keen on. We'll see him later. It has a few little side effects, which we'll see. It's like, you know, they may include rapid muscle growth, psychosis, violent impulses. But, like, you know, Sid figures that's a problem for the end user. They do seem to go back and forth between like having good SIDs and bad SIDs in FFs.
I like Sid in 8.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you know, like he just tells it like it is.
Old Robin Williams. Looks exactly like Robin Williams. It's great.
All right. So
I think this is the dungeon where you have to have the Dusk Shard equipped. Yeah. Yeah, these there are teleport things, or there's something you need to interact with that, and they won't listen to you unless you have it equipped. So that's why Balthier's got it. Well, that's why it was equipped much earlier, because you need it for this dungeon.
So this level also was, I think, the playable element of the Final Fantasy XII demo disc that came out the year before the game itself. So that's actually a bit of a foundational memory from me. It's 20 years ago at a little event called AVCon, which back then was held at the University of Adelaide in Union Hall. You know, I was a student then, and you know, it was a sort of like, oh, you know, let's go here with a bunch of my uni friends. And they had this like the demo running. It's like, oh wow, you know, it's amazing. What were their connections? How did they get it? And I'm sure it was extremely prosaic and whatnot. But to me, that was like, it was blowing my mind of like, oh, it's, you know, it's an RPG where you can run around in 3D and there are enemies and whatever. Yeah, no, it's... Okay, yeah, these dragons are scary. We'll just take the autosave on that one. Unfortunately, there's like a little pixel you got to go off to the side to get onto the staircase that we've unlocked. What can I say? Autosave is nice.
Every time one of these happens, I'm like, man, on PS2, like, what a nightmare this would be.
Oh, that saps. Actually, oh, no, and I'll just have to deal with that. Sap sucks. Because I don't think I can cure that.
No, so I found this out really late, that you need regen to cure sap, and I didn't find it in the original place, which was Giza Plains when it's raining. So, yeah.
Oh, no, and then when you locked out...
I just dealt with sap for so long.
Like, Azuna can do it, and Remedies can do it, but I don't have either of those things, so depending on how this goes, I might just check my high potion budget. It's not, like, completely game over, because I can just keep on, like, healing it off, and it'll be okay, but if I run out of high potions, then it's game over. So I might just run out the front and use the save crystal. Let's see what my budget's like.
Every time this white comes up from like the teleporting as well, like this whole room just illuminated, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's not enough.
Everyone's just getting flashbanged by the teleport.
Oh, come on, fine, use your high potion, Balthier. I'm going to turn your gambits off. Yeah, so a bit irritating, because that fireball attack that they have, like, sometimes it can cause sap. If you're lucky, they won't do it. Like, it's not actually that likely, so... Fortunately, there's like just a gate crystal here, so back on full health, and we're cooking again. So that little expedition we had down there has unlocked the doors, and now we've got a little geometry puzzle. There's 3 statues around the edges of the temple complex, and we need to make sure that they're all facing in towards the middle. So naturally, like it's a video game, none of them just happen to be facing the right way to start with. That's fine. That's an acceptable, entry condition to a video game puzzle. But each of them has a 2/3 chance to be like 90 degrees off, and a 1/3 chance to be pointing directly away. And if they're facing directly away, that sucks because it takes like twice as long to push them around. And going to be going into one of the downsides of X4 speed if we run into those, because the amount of time it takes before you're like able to interact with them again, I've got to make sure anti-clockwise, is linked to the like sound that plays when they turn. So they can finish the turning animation and you're still stuck waiting for like another 4 or 5 seconds before you're allowed to interact with them. So I'm going to be hoping I don't get statue trolled. It's all down to luck. Timing on like opening the doors relative to when you stop fleeing is also like a bit of a thing, because playing in wait mode in particular, if you push the interact button too early when you can't actually interact with the door, it'll instead open the battle menu, and then you've got to go out of the battle menu and whatnot. There we go, we're getting statue trolled. That's all right. So we just got to rotate this one once, and then we'll just sort of do a little dance and wait for the sound cue to finish, and then rotate again. The other downside to fleeing compared to running without fleeing, I should explain them. When you are when you have your weapon out, you actually run slightly slower than when you don't. So even if you like didn't care about fighting the enemies one way or the other, fleeing is still faster. But the downside is that when you're fleeing, you can't block. You just always get hit all the time. All right, so we've got a mini boss coming up here, and we're going to get another reflect bounce set up ready. And Ash here is going to set up decoy as well. And yeah, that should be fine. That slow doesn't matter on Balthier because items don't care about charge speed. I'm going to flee our way here and just go 2 casts of Thundara and turn our caster's gambits off. And there's Viniscar. Goodbye.
Very smooth.
Yeah. So we need to get them benched as soon as possible because the reflect status that they've got on them, when you're in the bench, any like temporary buffs or whatnot don't tick down. That should be anti-clockwise, right? Good.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, so the casters there, while they're benched, I can just essentially get multiple fights worth of reflect bounces out of them without having to refresh the reflect buff. So there's a reason as well this rounding uses Thundara as its sort of default casting spell, because in this game, like Final Fantasy has a weird relationship with like elemental weaknesses. Like you're pretty consistent, like like, air's good against ground, earth's good against air, whatever, but, or it's bad against it, whatever, but, in this game, ice is weak to thunder. Don't ask me why. I guess they just thought fire and water are a good mix for each other, and we just don't want to let fire be too good and also be good against ice.
That's strange, because they had it right in 10, which, if we're following numbers, came out before.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, lightning and water are opposed just like fire and ice.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think it's the line that old Lulu says.
But I guess it's an 8-element system in this one because they've got holy and dark as well. So this is like, well, whatever. I should be all right. Excellent. Okay, so going through into this door, we've got, Mateus, the Ice Esper. And I'm going to immediately do a bit of a cheeky buff inside the boss room because he starts a way off and he's got a bunch of ads. So just immediately just put Varn and Ash back in, turn Ash's Gambits back on, so we get Decoy and Reflect set up again on Balthier. I'm going to run through solo so that Mateus just walks a little bit forward and then bring the casters back out. And it should just be 2 more casts of Thundara again. Boom. There we go. Easiest fight. That fight can get a little hairy if you don't manage the ads very well because there's a lot of them and they can be a bit stubborn and difficult to handle. Yeah, like in the old route, the very first route I learned, you have to sort of do that fight just by beating it to death with swords. And it's this horrible, painful, grinding experience that I would not wish upon anybody. So, like, a non-trivial reason in why I switched my route into the gun route is just being able to no-sell that jerk. So, unfortunately, back in Tomb of Wraithwall, we got our, plot artifact and we got a handy teleporter to take us straight back out of the dungeon. Unfortunately, we've got to hoof it here, so just run straight through back the way we came. But we're effectively done with the Still Shrine. So our first instinct, of course, is just to go back to Bur Omisace, report our success, see what happens.
Nothing bad happened, right?
No, I don't think so. Why would anything bad happen?
Yeah, it's a perfectly safe place.
What are you implying?
Nothing. Just saying. Real good.
Yeah, we're just the way we've been able to teleport from this horrible horse monster, and it's just going to stand there impotently while we do our animation.
Things are fun looking up for our ragtag team.
Yeah, we've got our magic shiny rock smashing sword. We've got a big organized religion backing us that everyone respects and no one is going to declare war on. And we've got the new emperor's younger brother in our company, right? This should be fine. So that ice shield is useful for later. And I just need to touch the crystal there because Varn, because I don't level him, he has no MP. So I basically have to use that to there. And now just take a teleporter straight back to Bur Omisace. All right. Well, that doesn't look good. It's raining and...
it's just rain.
Yeah, but that's... Okay, there's fire, or smoke anyway. And there's people limping everywhere. Oh no. Oh no, something terrible happened, didn't it? Yeah, unfortunately, Vane is flexing his muscles and has sent out an expedition to capture his brother. And incidentally, Judge Bergen, who's in charge of the thing, is it wasn't in my mission description to massacre all these people, but that's just how I roll.
They would get an extra credit.
Yeah, he wakes up and chooses violence every day. So we're going to give him the what for. We're going to start just by fleeing, because he's got some ads that are a little bit irritating to deal with. Turn Penello's Gambits back on, and use it as spell note to get rid of his shell, because otherwise he's quite irritating. And that looks like an easy no-sell, but if you take too long and his, soldier bodyguards come up, it's a giant pain in the neck, because he is vicious. His damage output is pretty big. And Balthier can't quite handle it. So the upshot is that we realise that there's not really anything to be done here in terms of our original plan. Peace is not really going to work out when the new emperor is spoilers, he's the final boss.
What?
He's the main villain.
You're joking.
No, trust me. So instead, the plan is to go to... There we are. First, the plan is to buy... Oh, okay, we need to sell a bit more. That's all right. We'll sell all the loot we got from that grind against the jellies. 57 yellow liquid should be all right. Yeah, 40k should be okay.
Just do more diamond gloves if
if I really need to. Okay, so going to pivot from the storm staff to the flame staff because, you know, funnily enough, soon enough, we're going to be buying Firaga from the shopkeepers. So yeah, we're going to take the fight to the Empire, go to Arcades, and infiltrate the Dracula laboratory. Go and say hi to Dr. Sid. Who's, you know, like, because he's got all the shiny rocks, and it's like, well, what if we just broke their shiny rocks and they didn't have them anymore? Unfortunately, like, you know, no one in this party is very good at long-term planning. Like, they don't realize that they've been mass-producing the things for like a year at this point. So, like, not sure what they thought they'd accomplish in the process. Balthier's got daddy issues.
Yeah, Larsa just hands them one, and they're like, they think nothing of it.
Yeah, it's like, we've already made this in a factory. I'm not sure why you, like, think destroying, like, the original pattern's going to do. So those Berserker braces I got there, ooh, that's a bit spicy. Ow! Okay, I will just walk through here because I'm coming straight up on like a zone with no enemies, and there's a save crystal, so I'll just be able to get a full heal from this gate crystal here. And just going to take this chest here for the Thief's Cuffs, just to sell them for later on, just to make sure my guild budget is looking healthy. So I have from this point on to buy quite a few very expensive guns, and then ultimately all of my healing is still going to be potions. And like we saw, I had like 20 odd potions back in the Steel Shrine, and I'm going to need more by the time I'm done. So yeah, the Evil East high potion industry, like they've got it made. They've got like a natural customer base.
Yeah, so the reason why we pivot to guns for Fran and Barsh is that guns aren't dependent on your attack stats. So they also ignore a lot of enemies' armor as well. And it's helpful against enemies, you know, that can deal with, that aren't have high physical defense. So despite us not leveling those characters, we just equip them with the highest level guns we can buy, and they're good to go.
Yep. Weirdly enough, though, like, being Berserk still boosts your gun damage. So, like, I don't get the logic of, like, big muscles don't make guns strong, that's fine, but apparently being really angry does.
Makes you shoot harder.
I guess so. All right. So we've got a little mini-game puzzle here where the Moogles who are supposed to be repairing the gate are just, like, on break. And it's our job to round them up and go, nope, like, the boss says it's time to get back to work because, like, you know, sorry to, like, tip the scales in this labor dispute, but we need to get through that gate. The pumpkin heads here are potentially a bit annoying. They can throw out some irritating status ailments, but fortunately, a lot of the time they just start asleep. So you can usually just sort of keep your head down and get past them. So there's 4 groups of Moogles. Fortunately, the last one, once we get to them, does the courtesy of just teleporting us to the end state, so we don't need to backtrack once we've gotten all of them. And yeah, we'll just talk to these ones. I might just use the save crystal to get a free heal here, because I suspect my potions are getting a little low, and I don't want to run out before I get to the next shop.
Do you mind if I cut in with a donation that's come in?
Yeah, please do.
So we have $25 from Rooster, who said, I tried donating yellow liquids, but they only take my money.
Shout out to Rooster. He's a super old school runner of this game, and has a lot of like really old school lore. I could listen to that guy talk about like FF10 and FF12 for hours. I have a lot of respect for Rooster.
Thanks very much.
R-O-O-S-T-A, right? Yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I am thinking of the same person, yeah.
Yes, not in fact a bird.
Not the fast food chain. Not the red one.
All right, there we go. So, I've gotten lucky too. Because like often there's a Marlboro that patrols this area and can just, you know, has like screw you status effects, and it's just not even here.
Bad breath.
Bad breath.
The classic.
Yep. It's not usually a problem, but it's like it's nice not even having to worry about it.
I found the Marlboros and their family and ilk in this game so frustrating.
Yeah,
like going through each of the dungeons. Oh yeah, these enemies, I can beat them. Oh, pack of Marlboros, never mind.
Yep, enjoy your poison and silence and sleep and everything else under the sun. Fortunately, we don't. No, there's only one more area in the game where we have to deal with them, and we've got a trick for them, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, I know the one you're thinking of.
In different routes, you actually talk to the Moogle boss here because he gives you a sash. It's a little accessory that gives you a big speed boost, and you use, in some of them, use a ninja sword, scales with speed. I don't bother picking it up here because, like, even for just selling it, it's not worth the time loss because apparently it only like retails for like $300 or something. Like the gil rate on that is, why is the diamond armlet 6,000 gil and the sash, which is actually useful, is like only a few hundred? I don't get it. Evalis's economy is weird.
It's in shambles.
Yeah. They spend it all on airships.
Do you need to do any more farming with the golden amulet on anyone?
No, I should be good.
Okay.
I mean, it's been on Penella this whole time as well.
Yeah. I'm just being mindful if you need to buy licensed stuff.
Yeah, I think we're good. I do have a few things that I do need to buy here. Actually, yeah, if you could maybe double check if my cheat sheet mentions anything about Fond Coast.
Font Coast.
Okay, turn that map overlay off. All right, so sell these storm staves and yep. All right, so first order of business, I need to buy 2 guns, this Aldebaran, very important. I also want to get Firaga and an adamant vest to upgrade Balthier's armor, and then Bacchus wine and remedies, and yep, high potion should be good. So I want to have about 45 or so. Yep, gold needers are good.
Yeah, I can't see anything about Fawn Coast. I think you're good.
Awesome. Okay, so we got another like bout of licensing. So that shield I picked up back at the shrine, we're going to get the license for that and for the adamant vest. So that gives Balthier more defense and more hit points. We're going to license more HP. Oh, I should have held off on that because we got the Sage's Ring. And oh wait, no, that's it. What a dummy. I was like, I've got a suspiciously large amount of license points because I hadn't bought Firaga yet. Yeah, so the tricky thing with the game is that, yeah, you need to, like, for your spells and equipment and whatnot, you need to not just get the actual thing, you need to get the license for it. So that's absolute shambles of a rookie mistake there.
I always hate that. That mistake almost feels worse than not having enough of the resource in a speedrun. You're like, I have too much money. I've missed something critical.
Yeah.
Something's gone horribly awry.
I even bought the spell and everything. It's like, you know, do I need to be able to use that? Nah, it's just there to sit in the trophy case. All right. So we'll just... there we go. Do over. Get Balthier sorted out. And then...
Do you mind if I take this opportunity to remind people that we have some prizes they can donate for? So if there's, we've got 2 prizes at the moment that we're going for, an Urban Climb Pass and an Untitled Goose Game code. So anyone who's in Australia who does a minimum donation of $10 will be able to go in for one of them. So do get your donations in.
I love how you'd mentioned that, oh, you know, just being shy. Ash only had 1 LP spare.
I saw that.
Yeah, we're just doing setup for both Barsh and Fran now. We did buy their guns just before.
Yeah, like, technically I don't need to do this for a little while, but it's sort of the opportunity to do so anyway.
Yeah, while we're menuing.
Yeah. So they're both using as their second job Shikari because it's got a really, really good board set up in terms of what's where. So we're going to buy this Swiftness license up here. And then buying this Potion Law gives me access to the second Swiftness license. And then on the back of that, I can pivot back over to the Machinist board. And, oh, look, here's another Swiftness. So you just be able to do this spending so much less LP than you otherwise would to achieve the same thing. The only other important thing is that both of these characters need to get the Berserker Braces license. And then they also need Spellbound to keep their buffs for longer. And finally, on the Shikari board, Adrenaline. And that is going to be the absolute driving force behind these two. So, like, Adrenaline in the first, like, the original version of the game was pretty good. I think it was a 50% damage boost when you were at crit HP. In Zodiac Age, it is double damage. And it stacks with everything. Like, multiplicative stacking, it's ludicrous. Your damage output just goes through the roof. So that's going to be essentially just a way to make sure that boss fights don't last very long and can be scripted more or less. All right.
Sorry, folks, I have to duck out very briefly.
No worries.
If you've got a moment, I might just duck in and say that
Please
we are
do.
raising money for Game on Cancer. This charity raises early career cancer researchers, funds early career cancer researchers who work across all areas of cancer research to make sure that this is the last generation to die from cancer. So if you are listening and you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ausspeedruns.com. We also have a donation match happening at the moment, so any donation that you make will be doubled. Thank you so much for your generosity.
Oh, that's brilliant. Donation matches are always fun. I'm now going to temporarily turn off the decoy gambit because the next fight I've got is going to depend on both of my mages basically just being full tilt offense right out the gate. Going to upgrade our Nicosar gambits to remedies. And we should be good. All right. Just going to, where are we? Talk to our lovely Chocobo hire. Okay, that money is a bit tight. I guess we'll see how we go. We're in the short term, I'm fine. The game has a suspiciously frequent trend of right before you've got some story necessary gil spend. Oh look, here's a chest with 4,000 gil right before you need 4,000 gil to pass this area. But further down the track, I'm going to have to find some more efficiencies, shall we say, because I've already bought some expensive guns, but I'm need to buy even shinier, bigger, more expensive guns before too long. Yeah, the gun economy is wild in this game. That's right. I also want to equip Penello with a Sage's Ring. So this young gentleman here is offering me a hunt that's definitely legitimate. Look at that masterful artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on a hunt bill and everything.
Yeah, it's completely valid. We've got to hunt down the menace of Soshin Cave Palace. Conveniently, he's got the only key to the door we have to go through anyway. So we'll take it. Yeah, because the Mandragoras are the next boss fight coming up, and they're sometimes a bit of a circus. There's 5 of them. They've got status effects everywhere, and they run all over the place as well. So
yeah, it was a really long fight for me casually. Yeah. Just because I was having trouble with dealing with the Queen. Yeah, they're all painful to deal with.
Yeah, no, they're a bit of a nuisance. So, oops. Okay, good. That zombie didn't hit me with Confuse. Let's just heal up. Those frogs aren't aggro, which is nice. The demons, unfortunately, are. Okay, beautiful. Those little gargoyles can be an absolute pain in the neck. So I am going into the Mandy's solo deliberately, and I'll just bring the casters in once the cutscene's done. All right.
Do you mind if I come in with a donation?
Go ahead.
So we've got $50 from Jay Pacone saying, so are we going to sneak into the necrohole of Nabudis early for the Zodiac Spear? Please put this towards Tetris 4.1 attempts incentive.
Jerks. Okay, well that was bad. Yeah, I let them get completely ruined.
It was almost good.
Yeah. Oh well, the next volley should do it. Boom. There we go. Jerks. There's a reason I got the Remedy Gambit on the casters. So I'm going to keep the casters in the party for a little bit. And they're going to, essentially because because this game is made by the Evilise team, walking around regens your MP. And I do need to make sure they're at tip-top shape for the boss at the end. Okay, it looks like it's not going up, so I'm assuming that's at the cap. Back on the bench you go. Oh, no, actually, we can keep it at max battle speed. Strictly speaking, it's safer to turn the battle speed down for the next area, but I don't plan on encountering many enemies, so I'll just try and save myself that little bit of menu time. So, need to do a little bit of... the next room always messes me up because like the visuals never correspond to the actual geometry in ways that I expect, but basically I just need to cross this little rock bridge here. There we go. And now I'm going to set up a despawn. So we're going to bring Vaan in. And make him wait to use a potion on Balthier, but because we're so far away from each other, Vaan's AI doesn't know what to do to execute that command, and he just sort of goes in like a what do, and I can walk further and further away from him, and because like basically under the hood, this is not a remake, this is a remaster. Under the hood, this is still a PS2 game.
You want to despawn the enemies when Balthier encounters them, and that's by flicking back and forth to Vaan. So we'll be using this method in a couple of other areas. It's just to avoid getting hit by really, really high monsters, and just to make getting through the dungeons a lot easier.
That's one of the coolest pieces of tech in this game, in my opinion, is like the despawn management.
It's an interesting one as well because they didn't have to leave that logic in. Obviously, like we're running on like God knows how many like extra like memory and everything compared to what was in the. Right, I need to remember to use that bubble mote from ages ago. Where are you, bubble mote? Just because Ahriman can be a little bit funky. So the early reflect bounce has worked out well. I just need to turn it off on Ash for now to make sure there's at least one person consistently like hitting it. And I'll just use fleeing to keep this under control. And then, oh, that sucks. Wow. I don't know how that happened. Oh, our reflect wore off maybe. Oh, well. No, I don't know I don't know what got Pinello, but we'll just get it back on. We'll manage. Yeah, this guy can be an absolute nuisance because his divide basically just means he can cause problems through whatever means. But we've dealt with him. He's done. And I'm going to use that handy-dandy float mote. Doom, I think I'll be okay with. You can't, so if that ticks down to 0, Balthier is just going to get KO'd. So this hall, you can't see it because I don't have Libra active. Oh no, it does because Ash has got the bangle. Yeah, it's full of traps, and because I use that float mode, I can just walk straight over them. Great fun. You're not guaranteed to get a float mode in the run. It's like basically it's a low chance drop from the jellies that I farmed back in the Hane mines. I beat up 90 of them, so there's reasonable odds. But yeah, you can't take it for granted. So I'm glad that it panned out that time. And I'll be able to use a save crystal in town before the next sort of time I'm in combat. So yeah, the Doom counter doesn't really matter now.
Do you mind if I cut in with a donation?
Please do.
We have $50 from Jazz saying, congrats to Shay on speedrunning Final Fantasy XII in under 50 hours just to commentate this run. Please put this towards the Eno incentive.
Yeah, I finished this game on Sunday night.
I am really grateful for you putting in the hours there because you were pretty much going through blind, right?
Yeah. So I knew some of the speedrun strats, but I did a full casual playthrough. Didn't use any of the speedrun strats, even though I knew of them. So it was yeah.
Oop. These stairs always get me.
Yeah, I remember this part of the story quite well because I was so frustrated with having to do it.
Yeah, no, Arcades is a bit infamous from a casual perspective, especially in the original PS2 version. You sort of got it's meant to be sort of a talky social part of the game, but it's also at the point where you've been on the back of 7 or 8 consecutive sort of wilderness and dungeon areas with no plot at all. This is literally the first plot that we get of any real whatever since beating up Judge Bergen. And you basically just get, sort of told, oh, it's a big city here, you've got to flim-flam your way to success, and everyone is constantly making you jump through a bunch of arbitrary hoops just to be able to advance.
Yeah, and also these chests, they're also full of little amounts of gil. Like, I would start opening, ooh, a chest, let's open them up. And they would give you like 11 gil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rich people don't live here.
No, they don't.
Speaking of like gil just lying around, we've just told someone that his big stash of money that got stolen was stolen by the guy sitting across from him to start a fight, and so the guards are just all going to go into that and like let us into the city because they're just more interested in watching the fight than in inspecting our papers. Balthier's having a bit of a reunion with his like old like street ear friend.
They're not friends.
No, close enough for fisticuffs.
So now we're in Rich Arcades.
Yeah, and like I quite enjoyed like this section casual-wise, but I can certainly understand why it has become divisive because coming up we've essentially got a fresh progression gate where once we get to the cab, it's like Balthier wants us to meet us like higher up in the city, and it's like, okay, you can pay us 1 million gil if you've got to ride the cab.
Yeah.
We don't have 1 million gil, so instead, like, we got to earn some chops, so like marks of status, which we do by sort of running around the city doing favors for people and trading information. In the original PS2 version, you need to do 9 of these.
Oh my god.
There are like 6 pairs of people in most of the areas in the city, so you'd need to do at least 1 zone transition, and you're not doing it speed up. In the remaster, you only need 3, so it's actually really, really easy. So we're going to start going and talking to, where are you? This senior researcher. Oh, that's the avid reader. Other person in... Oh, we'll go with this guy instead. Gentleman onlooker. Going to talk to the eager crier. It's like, okay, if you work really hard, you'll eventually be rich like that guy over there. Probably, maybe.
Yeah, one person
Where's
has
the
a set of
researcher?
problems, the other person, you can solve
Beautiful.
their problem, and then they'll go, oh, thanks so much for the help. Here's a chop for your trouble.
Or in this case, you get some words of encouragement passed on from the senior researcher to be completely misunderstood by her subordinate who assumes he's going to get fired. No, not you. Now we just need to find the worried husband. There we go. It's like, oh no, my wages have been halved. Like I hope no one tells my wife, and his wife is like, well, oh, come on, that's all right. I've got like $1 billion in my dowry purse. I'll just dip into that. Thanks for reminding me it was there. I'd kind of forgotten about it. It was sitting behind the couch. Awesome. And so now we're done. So yeah, in PS2, you'd probably be like at least like 10 minutes doing that, I think.
Definitely didn't take me half an hour to do this.
And then, of course, like if you do all 26 of them, you get like a shinier version that lets you access another area, which is almost all flavor. Like I don't think there's actually, I don't think there's actually anything there that really matters.
I know there's a chop shop you can exchange
Oh,
extra
that's right.
ones.
Yeah, you can just buy them. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't do more than the requisite 3 though.
All right. Balthier's irritated that we've taken forever, but like whatever. And our plan to infiltrate the laboratory unfortunately has been interrupted because like Vane's still in the middle of like launching a coup and there are soldiers everywhere. Basically, Jules turns up, a little informant dude, and is like, yeah, I was just sort of stalling you for time, but his heart's in the right place. He basically just wanting to like, get like a bit of corporate espionage done on the laboratory we were planning on sneaking into anyway. So I need to make sure coming up here I pick the right menu option, because otherwise it'll be like a 2-minute time loss. So I need to make sure I pick where to go here. Okay, good. Because if you pick the first option and just mash through it, it takes the cab back to where you came from before, and you've got to go through the whole unskippable cutscene twice. And then you still got to do this. Alright, so with that done, we're just about ready for... yep, there we go. Just to get to Draclaw. Which, there's been a visitor already. How come every place we go to, there's just piles of dead soldiers before we even arrive? First section here is basically just sort of, setting the scene, and then later on there are some puzzles here. So up from 66 to 67, these lifts take forever. I'm assuming they were there to mask loading times in the PS2 version, but they the black screen's still there for ages. The animation still takes forever. There we go, come on, any day now.
It's building up.
I don't know how anyone gets work done in this place. It's maybe they've got phones. we've raided Sid's office and just found a lab card. Obviously, Sid himself wasn't there, so instead we're just going to find out that the place is in lockdown. So yeah, a bit of a navigation minigame here. Everything swaps between sort of, you know, the red-blue bulkheads and the blue bulkheads being open, and just need to pivot them. There's a bit of luck involved in the lift coming up. So that little ding, there's a soldier in the lift, which means I can't use it until the animation's finished. Otherwise, I could have just walked straight up to the terminal and gone on board. That's how it goes. Can't really do anything about it other than hope to get lucky. Combat isn't necessary here, but I can't just completely ignore the soldiers. If I leave them alone too long, then they will just beat me up. I might be swapping back and forth between Balthier and Penella here as well, because if Balthier's chucking an item, he can't open doors. So we'll just play it by ear. There we go. Navigating here, obviously, like, if you don't know and you're blind, it can be a bit of a thing. There's a lot of room to sort of accidentally send yourself backwards and make negative progress.
It's nice of the soldiers to wait outside for you to finish what you're doing.
Very polite. It's like clearly they've got important private business behind those doors. We'll just leave them to it.
Maybe they don't have, like, the right access cards.
Maybe, yeah. All right, good. A little hairy there. I think I had spent too long fleeing, and so Balthier's decoy wore off. Which is, yeah, not ideal, because, I mean, like, I don't... Oh, Ash is not on full health. I guess Balthier's busy doing other things. Oh, have I run out of high potions?
You might have run out.
I might have run out of high potions. I shouldn't have. I bought more in Fawn Coast, didn't I?
I think...
I'm going to check. Oh, I got plenty of high potions. I don't know what I'm talking about. Did I not? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's why. So, this is good. It's caught me before this is actually critical. I just forgot to set this gambit. So from now on, I actually need to only bother healing Ash and Penella with high potions, because my gunners are going to be doing crit HP setups instead. Speaking of which, Fran and Bush, it's your time to shine. Oh, why can't I? There we go. Critical, but I'm going to bring them out here because the most important thing they need to do next is die. I need to get them down to crit HP, and the fastest way to do that, far and away, is to just let them get KO'd and then resurrect them with a Phoenix down. Because crit HP is basically just like essentially 20% plus anything, and wouldn't you know it, Phoenix down restores exactly 20% HP. Oh, okay.
You're doing the animation cancelling with Barn, not
sorry,
Balthier.
so yeah, I'm doing this, there we go, finally. So, up to floor 70, no more enemies, and we're good. Now, I don't think I got a reverse mode earlier, did I? I just got the bubble motes back in trial mode.
I haven't caught one.
Yep.
We did talk about... No, I think I just brought that
Yeah.
up kind of randomly.
Yeah.
I'll do a quick scan. It'll be right next to the bubble mode if I have it, because it drops from the same enemy. Nope. Okay. No. So, first order of business, get a reverse mode. So, conveniently, this little room here outside Sid's office has a 25% chance to have a chest with a reverse mode in it. Frustratingly enough, that chest could also contain an Eroga mote instead, and you can't tell which one it is until you open it. So, just a bit of back and forth here. Oh, second try. That's nice.
Look at that.
Happy. It's... not necessary, but it's hugely important for a boss later on. Alright, so we're just going to Phoenix down
Yeah, I
these two.
think from this point you won't be using the save crystals or touching them much.
Yeah, because the problem is
just to do the... you didn't turn off for the...
Yeah, I didn't fix... I should just turn Bash's gambits off.
Yeah.
Alright, and this one... Like, Bash's gambits I don't actually need to update, but yeah. That's all right. I'll just do a thing on Bash. So, hey Bash. Oh. Yeah, you know, like
Grim.
Yeah, so from now on we're going to avoid touching save crystals.
Yep.
To avoid having to reset up Fran and Bash's health.
So those the light armor that I'm equipping them increases their max HP so that they're now in crit health, even though technically they're not. Like they weren't when I set them up. Gonna turn game speed up, and we also now need to adjust Varn's gambits. Now he's only going to buff Balthier, and his first priority is going to be protect. So we're just going to get Protect and Decoy set up on Balthier. And now we're going to rush through to Sid. Yes.
That crit HP setting was like a really, really clever... when I was like reading that up in the guide, I was like, oh, it's genius. It's absolutely genius.
If you've got a huge pile of money, you can also do it with like reverse plus renew, but yeah, we don't have those resources.
Pity if anything were to happen to them.
So Sid's a little gnarly in this setup because Berserk is like mindless in its targeting, and I need to get rid of all his ads before I can kill him. I also, like, once he casts Haste, that's my cue to nab this treasure, and then I'm just going to use a Phoenix down to deny that. Okay, he didn't do it, but he was about to do a cutscene attack, and if he'd gotten it off, that would have been like 30 seconds of wasted time. So no evil laughter for you, Sid.
Yeah, so bosses will do a big animation when they're low at a certain health. So what Nicosar was trying to do was to interrupt it, which wasn't needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so even if no one's down, if you use a high potion, or in this case a Phoenix down, it'll interrupt it because you get priority over it.
Basically another artifact of the game being a PS2 game originally, because they were concerned when, like, we got all these flashy spells going off, like, are we going to like do, like, you know, is it going to have enough video memory to handle all of the effects? So everything in the game apart from the basic attacks has an effect capacity value, and the game can only have so much effect capacity going at once. The remaster upped the effect capacity drastically, I believe, from 8 to 32, but any cutscene attack needs the effect queue to be completely clear. Oh, whoops. First, I need to do some unequipping. Yep. Good. Because I've got to buy some very expensive guns, and in order to buy those, I first need to sell a bunch of other stuff.
Do you mind if I come in with a donation?
Yeah, of course.
So we have $10 from Cecilary saying, hello from the randomizer side of the Final Fantasy XII community. I've always been really happy to see runs of my favourite game, my favourite Final Fantasy at a marathon. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Excellent. So, ooh, yeah, I think we'll be okay. 9K is a little leaner than I wanted it to be. I was hoping for at least 10. Because, yeah, this is the point where, like, the potion shopping gets expensive.
The siren song of the diamond gloves called.
Oh, yeah, and those Phoenix down are a little low. Let's see how many remedy. Oh, and the remedies are low too. How many X potions can we afford with this? I think we'll just try finding economies elsewhere. Sell these. Oh, and I think we got a few consumables. I think I saw, like, the Soleil Fang and whatnot. Yeah, don't need you. Don't need you. Oh, I thought I saw it. Maybe I didn't.
Did you sell all your drops?
No, I didn't mean to. I need to keep a few. Oh, yeah, that'll be fine. There's one more X potion. Yeah, we're going to go with it. Because the high potion supply is still pretty good. Basically, what's going to happen later on, I'm going to get a... Oh, yes, very important. Remove the Dawn Shard from Balthier. So, coming up, I'm going to have to summon Belias, and like any Esper, he needs a mischarge in order to use. The Dawn Shard zeroes your MP and also zeroes your mischarges. So it's a classic problem is if you go in without a full MP restore, you got no MP, and then you just regenerate from 0 to 100 just to be able to summon the Esper. Yeah, I'm getting one more X potion guaranteed from a chest coming up. 12 should be fine. So it's our last Chocobo ride of the run. Which is, you know, I'm getting a bit dizzy, honestly. And we take a hard left here, going down south. Oh, not quite. There we go. And they don't go through this zone transition. Yep, excellent. So, excellent. That's exactly what we wanted. So, Fran and Bush, I needed to get them KO'd there, and that trap has just saved me having to sort of kite them past all these enemies. Good. So, technically, this is an area of the game where you can get to, like, basically, you know, we ran through the Feywood earlier on the way to Bur-Omisace. We could have gone here at this point in time, and you just get told the mist is turning you away. But since we've made some story progress, we now instead get this new cutscene. I'm just going to manually heal with one more high potion, I think, because I've got a boss coming up and I want that one to go smoothly. Yep, got plenty. And we'll just res our 2 gunners. Yep, Fran berserk herself. Oh, right, and one more thing I need to do, more licenses. So, the 2 gunners, because yeah, I sold my old gun, and now I've got a newer, shinier gun. Hello, Spiker. You can do a lot. And then just make sure that Penelo has her license for oil good. And I'm just going to buy HP laws for Penelo and Ash while I remember, because I don't need them for a while, but they are necessary for later on, because there's a fight where they basically take unavoidable damage, so I want to make sure that they're in good shape for that. And Balthier, lastly, gets the license for the Bubble Belt. Oh, and if he's got a bit of spare LP, let's just one more HP law, just for old time's sake. Berserker braces, and we're just going to run straight into Rafflesia here. I'm not going to set up decoy because I can do more basic aggro management. I just start by chucking a Phoenix down, and like that's a healing item, so it basically just generates a bunch of initial aggro. Whew, Curse is really bad. Well, that sucks. Because it inflicts me with disease, which lowers your maximum health. I don't have any way to cure it apart from the save crystal right before me, so unfortunately I've got to redo the Berserk low HP setup on the Gunners.
Yeah, the disease and the sap is also awful.
So I'm just going to get... Fran's Berserked herself from her Gambits, yep, classic. So we're just going to remove Bash's Berserker Braces, and I'll just make him just manually shoot Fran and then shoot himself. Yeah, like these guns don't mess around. Lovely. Oh. Whoops. And I forgot, unfortunately, to take off their armor as well. So we're just going to do some fisticuffs to... This is why you do the whole armor setup, to avoid having to do this finicky nonsense. Beautiful. All right. With that done, we're going to do one more little bit here. Just going to get Vaan to put up Protect on Balthier and turn the battle speed down to slow, because we've got some very scary enemies coming up in the area around here. I picked up that bottle of Domain Calvados. Excellent. The first room's pretty easy because most of the Mirror Knight enemies here, like their first gambit is to just cast Reflect on themselves. So they just let me walk straight past. They're only scary if you try to fight them. Next area, a little bit trickier. I'm going to take advantage of the party leader change pauses the game to just orient myself. I've got a little illusion puzzle here where I have to walk through the right door. And I'm just going to cheat and turn the map overlay on. There we go, Bubble Belt. I am going to delay activating it a bit. Oh, that was a mistake. All right. Good.
We have a question from the crowd.
Yes.
Asking why guns instead of magic, and then someone asking why not magic guns?
Vaan helpfully reminding me that I've actually messed up his gambits.
Yeah, so mid-game, the reflex strats work really well.
Yeah.
But in the end game, there are bosses with really high magic defense. So it's also a lot easier with physical damage as well with the guns. Part
of it too is that the guns need less time to set up. Once you've got your Berserk set up, it's pretty comfy to just go with it. There's our illusion. Okay. Oh, it's a slow pattern here. So there's basically a random chance of which one of these you have to go through. I got the worst one, unfortunately. Oh, they mean business. Oh, that Gyrovaganus is doing me an unkindness. All right. Okay, fine, Balthier. I'll give you your bubble belt. Okay, cool. So we're just going to zoom through here. And now's the time to summon Belias. So he's like, hello. And there's no enemies targeting me, so I'm just going to turn my gambits off. Get a bit of handy healing from Belias as well. That's not intended. And yeah, open the gate. For many players, this is the only time in the game they will summon an Esper. So that didn't go according to plan, but you know, that's all right. We're still advancing. Turn my gambits back on. I'll do the rest of my healing with high potions, and then I'll just X potion to success with after that point. Oh, yep, that's fine. We'll adjust our gambits now. Okay, I need to res Vaughn. Phoenix Down's getting a bit low as well. Yeah, so this is basically, yeah, I should have gotten the extra diamond armlet. I'm being stingy and I've paid for it. So I can upgrade that to X potions, and just doing this now, add an oil gambit for Penelo, which we won't actually see sort of taking advantage for ages, but do that. So change our gambits on Vaughn and Bosch to Domain Calvados, which is an item added in Zodiac versions that is just instant bravery, basically. So it's not as powerful as Berserk, but it doesn't have the downsides, and they stack. So might as well.
There's also alternate strats that I don't think you're going to use, where you do the same strats with Fran and Barsh, but with Penelo and Ash, where they're in also critical health, but with magic, because there's an accessory, I can't remember the name, but
yeah, Leather Gorget, I think.
That's it, yeah. So you equip both on Ash and Penelo, and they'll basically do, I can't remember the amount, maybe double damage, but magic.
Yeah. I think like it's basically you double damage, but you'd be doing 1.5x without it. All right, Daedalus is a reasonably tight boss, so I want to use, where are we? Haste Gamote. And then also that Domain Calvados I picked up on Fran, give her bravery, and then just stay out of the way so that it targets me and not the gunners.
Very nice.
And I want to get them benched as soon as possible because I need to keep their buffs for a later boss, and I want to keep as much of that buff uptime as possible.
This is where you're going to be seeing
Yep.
The despawn happening. So we're going to be setting up with Penelo here with an item. And Bosch is going to be, sorry, not Bosch, Balthier is going to be running away. And then we're going to be swapping back and forth between the two to despawn the enemies. And the enemies in this area are ruthless. Yeah,
they mean business. Yeah, the other reason to despawn them, even without the actual, like, sort of, like, you know, being in peril of your life, is that they'll slow you down, having to do block animations, having to run around with your weapon out. Yeah, not ideal. So basically just going back and forth between Penelo there means that I can constantly tell the game, no, I'm over here, no, I'm over here. Like, these enemies are obsolete, ignore them. It also means that I can run through with Balthier without having to flee. Which... Oh, she's... Oh, no, there we go. Does mean that, like, theoretically, I can block enemies instead of having to... Oh, I see, she's caught up. Okay, now we're fleeing. Cool. Okay, they missed the stop, which would have been the only complete game over. That sap I can now cure, thanks to Penelo having Remedy Law.
Yeah, at this point of the game, I still didn't have anything to cure sap.
Oh no.
So this dungeon was also quite awful to me.
Did you have anything to cure disease?
No.
Oh no.
I was really struggling at this point because I was just trying to get through as fast as possible, and yeah.
Yeah, Giravagan's pretty brutal. I imagine you probably did not have fun with Shemhazai either.
No, that's correct.
Yeah. All right, so Penelo's now timed out on that potion, so she's going to be gradually creeping forward, but that's actually good at this point, because ideally what I want is that when I flip the next switch, she should be just in position to go through the next locked gate. And so touch this gate stone, and I should just be able to go back to Penelo and flee to success straight through here. And because we turned the battle speed down, we're just able to escape getting bopped by these enemies. Excellent. All right, I got a cutscene to skip, and then we're pretty good here. I'm going to take an optional item here. This is not necessary, but Tyrant, the boss coming up, can be a bit gnarly. So it's basically a second bottle of Domain Calvados, get people boozed up and make their physical damage better. Just off on the side here. Once I'm through this scene. You don't need it, but it does make the fight a bit more consistent. So we're just going to go and grab it. And switch back to Balthier. Alright, Ash and Vaan, just to get him buffed. And I'm going to set myself up with a reverse moat. Actually, I'll wait just a tiny bit before the boss. There we go, and enter the boss fight with it. And immediately I also want to use a Dispel moat, because I need to get this thing dealt with very quickly. It starts with Protect. So yeah, you can see all that like healing from it attacking me, and now the reverse has run out, and GG. Sucks to be you, Tyrant. Alright, bringing Penelo back in because she can just remedy me, cure that poison. And the Great Crystal's coming up. So I'm not doing any of the optional areas. Navigation is still a little bit of a challenge here because you don't have a map. Or technically you have a map and it's useless. Like, great, I'm in a crystal. Thanks, game.
Yeah, I was stuck here for ages.
So I'm just going on memory here. Fortunately, sort of this part of the... Oh, why is Penelo being targeted? Oh no. Whatever, I'll just let her get bopped. Oh, okay, well that works too. Normally my approach is to bring the gunners in for that, but I guess, yeah, the spellcaster works. That trap just making me waste my high potion topping up her health is the reason you don't keep her after that first screen. I am deliberately getting these chests here because you can sell the equipment in them for cash, and given that we've already demonstrated, I've been a little bit, I'm a little bit strapped. Very important to just get more fodder.
So did I see that correctly, that Penelo just did like 11k damage?
Sounds about right. She's like she's casting Firaga with the flame stuff that's like a 50% boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be more damage than that coming up.
Yeah.
Because later on we're going to be using oil on things.
So I think, I guess this would probably be the first game in the series that just has no damage cap at 9999.
Sort of, because it didn't, like the PS2 version didn't work that way, so it's just great.
Because I think 13 didn't. I think even if you count all of the others, like great damage limit is a specific thing you need to go out of your way for, but this particular version of the game just like gives it to you.
And I need to make sure absolutely to get rid of that Petrify on Bosch, because that would be very unpleasant if that goes through. You might be right. There were a few abilities specifically in the original version of 12 that also just had a baked-in break damage limit. Some of the Esper attacks in particular, like Zeramus has one that's like, you know, do the difference like based on how much health he lost. So it's literally just like max health, like max health minus current health, like times a billion. It was there we go. I can't remember whether it was IZJS or TZA that turned off the damage limit in the first place, but TZA is responsible for a lot of sort of power creep on that front, because a lot of the synergies that let you get this damage depend on having more than one job. I guess not in speedrun though, like, but yeah, like adrenaline on a gunner, normally you'd need to, because Machinist doesn't have adrenaline, so you'd normally need to get them a Steel Gorget or something like that. Alright, so with that, that should be the last set of like actual like puzzling in the Great Crystal. What are my potions like? Okay, we will be okay. We will not be better than okay. I got Shemhazai coming up, and she is a really... She means business, but she's a... Yeah, so...
There's a note on your thing to say something to do before Shemhazai.
Oh, yep.
If I remember him correctly.
I might ask you to check for it.
No, it was Hashmal.
Oh, awesome. Okay, he's not for a while.
Yeah.
I think I just need to make sure I've got active decoy and protect on Balthier, and we should be good otherwise. Triple check the battle speed, because you want battle speed fast for Shemhazai.
Yeah, I was getting the Esper's names confused.
Fair enough. They are non-traditional. The standard FF summon names all got used for... oh, you know what? I'm going to... Where are we? Use that Domain Calvados as well. Just get that little bit of extra damage output. I think they got used for airships.
Yes.
And I'm going to deliberately use this high potion here just... Yeah, because she means business. That shock does so much damage. Just ATB reset to get a guaranteed X potion out here and another X potion manually. Okay, we should be good. Because now she just goes into like... Yeah, we're good. Sucks to be you, Shemhazai. I do need to get that chest that I failed to collect, because that's important for later on. So we're going to take all the gear off our gunners. Important for later on.
Do you mind if I come in with a donation? So we have $100 from Mega Slayer 321A that is putting their $100 towards the Jack and Daxter corruption, texture corruption, and just wants to wish everyone good luck for all the runners.
Let's go, Mega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you. So, after we've sort of finished going down to the bottom of Guravagan, Ash gets an audience with the Okuria, sort of like the gods or near enough. There we go. Okay, I was worried. That screen is very dark. It's an OLED. And we've been given the Treaty Blade, which basically is like, here's your license to go and cut lots of shiny rocks out of the biggest shiny rock in the world. Go and have revenge against the Empire. Have fun with it. It's like, she's like, well, maybe I'll do this. It'll be fun. Like, they killed my husband and everything. And everyone else is like, no, this is a bad idea. You're going to start a nuclear war. Yeah,
she's been getting visions of him turning up, by the way. And she's thinking it's a great idea. I should do this.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, probably not a great idea, Ash. I'm just going to do my shopping now, and we'll see how the X potion supply is looking at. So just double check. You've got, yep, I'm going to optimize you with the Treaty Blade just to get it out of the way. Good. We don't have any extraneous accessories, so... Thieves Cap, Gold Hairpin, Gaia Gear. Yep, okay. Yep, we got this little bit of loot from the enemies here as well. I think we'll be okay. So, first double check, just a few more remedies. Phoenix down, we want about 25. And then the rest... Oh, actually, I do want more high potions because of Balthier's gambit for the healers. Oh, yeah, no, we're fine. I was worried it'd only be like 20 or something. All right. So, after we check in here with Redis, who's we met him back at when we fought Sid, but I skipped the cutscene, so you don't know. Anyway, he's our patron here in Pirate Town, and he's going to join us for the the last series, like major dungeon. He is going to cast one spell twice, and he's going to use a few dispel motes, and that's all he's going to do. The first thing I'll do once I have him in the field is turn his gambits off, because he has nothing that he can offer me.
Yeah, these two side characters, by the way, are like... They remind me of Final Fantasy X, like an off-ject and...
Yeah.
And just someone from the side hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Rickon and Jack pretty much are just the same basic character beats. You've got the shocker dark hair, the big bare chest. He's a bit less of a jerk.
Yeah. We don't know if he's got any kids.
Well, yeah, maybe he's a bad dad. He's off busy pirating in there, just like, Dad, where's my breakfast? All right. We've also now got access to the Stryle, the airship. So it gives you fast travel to a bunch of places around the map. We won't use it for anything but the plot necessary things, but we're basically into the end game, free roam everywhere you want. Gonna turn Redis's gambits off. and control Balthier. So once again, I want to start by getting Bosch and Fran KO'd. There's a few ways to do it. Some of the enemies here will do it for me. Om nom 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 nom. Tasty Bosch. There are also some traps in a later area. The Malboros I want to be a little careful of because like if they... Okay, they're just attacking. That's fine. But if they're doing like a status, then I don't want to have to deal with that. I want Redis alive, so that's looking good. I'm just going to do double check. Excellent. You have no gear on at all. Okay, so res them first, and I need to be very sure I don't cross the boss threshold here, because that would be bad. Phoenix, oh, beautiful. Yep, Gambit's off. So, got to do a big pre-buff for this one here. Gonna turn the Gambits on these two, and Redis, I'll just going to use a haste emote, and Balthier, where are we? Bacchus Wine to Berserk Fran.
Reequip.
Oh, wrong character. Anyway, that's fine. So yeah, now we get them kitted out with the fresh light armor, so they're back at crit health. Also lets us take them out of the party. Nope, it's not Penello. Ash. Triple check. Yeah, we're on fast battle speed. Now, Hydro is an absolute bastard of a boss. There's a reasonable chance I reset instantly, depending on what he does. Let's see. Lovely. He's just attacking. I didn't even realize he could do that. Normally it's like Fireball's the least vicious thing. Awesome. So basically just need to make sure he's beating up Balthier and not the gunners.
Oh,
Redis goes down, I don't really care.
That
and
sap is mean.
Boom. That one was like, oh, yes! And it's just my lucky day, because I've just got those Berserker braces right away. That's a 1 in 4 chest. I have seen people lose personal bests, spending like 3 minutes getting that chest to spawn. And first try. So, because yeah, the second pair of Berserker braces is necessary, because I don't have the action economy to keep on buffing Fran with Bacchus Wine. So now she and Bosch are both just permanently Berserk gun turrets. First layer of the wellspring here, like a little bit of a puzzle. I've got to collect these black orbs from beating up enemies. In the original version of the game, I think it was only like a 1 in 3 chance for them to drop. It's guaranteed in Zodiac. Just another one of those little, you know, willingness to respect the player's time. And I need to get 3 of those orbs and put them all in the altar. So there's one altar I always miss, which is sort of like, I go back to the entrance hall and I need to double back. So got to make sure I catch that. So often I just go from altar number 3 to altar number 1. But yeah, sort of, you know, we're in our final dungeon. You can see that 0-1F thing on the side. So we've literally got a 100-floor dungeon with, like... It mostly doesn't cheat. Like, pretty much most of those floors are you actually going up a floor. So yeah, we'll be here a while. Here we go. That's altar number 2. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I was struggling real hard with these upper levels in this particular dungeon. I was low on resources, really struggling.
Nope. Let me pick up that orb. Good. If you leave them too long, they despawn. It's a pain in the neck. Now, I don't have to do any more combat before the next boss, so like I didn't need to turn the battle speed down, but it's a nice little bit of insurance. And now, orb number 3. And we'll be told a change has occurred. Now we just run to the back of the area and we fight first in a series of sort of themed bosses. So it's funny because like the last of them is optional, but they're like sort of the guardians of the Pharos. They're sort of themed after sort of the legendary like Chinese creatures based on sort of, you know, the east, west, north, south. So we got like the black tortoise. Disable, you jerk! Well, I mean, the good news about being disabled is I'm not going to waste my time chugging potions. Disable and poison. There's a reason I keep Penello around. Cool. So just that remedy will get me tip-top. So I also need to bring Redis back into the game because I'm going to be using the only part of his kit that ever comes directly into play. Which is, first we'll just, phase 1, Pandemonium, big tortoise, we just let him like do his thing. eventually he'll... oh, wait. Whoops. There we go. Should be still okay. Yeah, so once perfect defense goes up, he is literally invulnerable. He's immune to all magic and all attacks. So we're going to use a Rise from Redis, which is like the, I'm going to res you on full health and manually refresh Decoy and Balthier. And just due to the way that the game works, like arbitrarily, he just drops his like barrier because you've tried to resurrect him. Like, I don't actually know what the proper game logic of it is. If it's genuinely, oh, like this, you know, this helpful spell's coming through, I've got to make myself not immune to magic, or if it's like an effect capacity thing of like, this is a, you know, big serious spell and I've blocked this many spells, so like time to switch it off. But either way, if you can't turn that off, like I think he has like. It's either 1 minute or 2 minutes of just sitting there being invulnerable.
2 minutes.
It's miserable.
I waited the 2 minutes.
Well, I appreciate your sacrifice. Okay, so I'm just doing bad navigation there. These teleporting horsies have it in for me. So now I'm going to turn battle speed back up and bring the gunners back out because we've now got, we're done with the ground floor, so now we've got a lot of floors to climb. The first ascent, I find it the hardest part of the speed run. It's probably the easiest part of the tower in casual play, but it is a bit finicky if you're trying to do it quickly. So there's a bunch of gaps in the stairs coming up that are gated off. Like, essentially, we've got to beat up these sort of green brain pan statue enemies. Every one we beat up adds a segment to the gaps in the steps. Just beat these things up. And I need to sort of not get too close so that I get too close and keep the gunners further back so that the gunners don't catch strays from the like spells they're casting. Because it's like I don't have the time to set up decoy for all of these encounters, so I've basically just got to rely on them. Oh, that's irritating. I'm just going to bring Pinello in to cure that disable. Disable's really, really mean in this game. Like, literally the only things that you can do are walk around and flee. Can't use items, can't use any weapons, can't summon. You just completely no-sold.
I mean, it's called disable.
Sometimes it's more mean than others. Like, you know, it's not like silent. It's not like a physical version of silence or anything like that. I guess that's what I'm getting at. It's just, it's worse. Now, in a little bit, we're going to see sort of the more complicated part of the statue game, because eventually, on top of the green brain pan enemies, there's going to be red data enemies, and they will take away the sort of the green bridge segments. So right now, it's literally just kill everything that moves and you can't go too wrong. Another disable. Well, they're really aggro with that today. I think I'll just wait for this one to wear off. Yep, good. And just shoot them and we're fine. So the problem is if you kill any Dadars before you build the bridge, then it will take away progress on the bridge segments. So you need to try and avoid them. I'm going to do... this one's less reliable, but I'm going to try... There's one sort of up ahead, after I've dealt with the next two enemies, I'm going to try another despawn trick. Because there's 3 enemies there, then I only want one of them to actually spawn. So there's 2 brain pans and a Dadar. And I don't want the Dadar to be there at all. And I don't want one of the brain pans to be there because it's very close quartered and it's hard to maneuver the gunners there to not sort of get eaten by magic. So there should just be one enemy here. Okay, I did it right. The frustrating thing about that trick is that like it's just like no one can tell that you did it. Like failure's the only way that it's actually apparent. But I'm happy it worked. You can lose a lot of time on that section otherwise. So this section here is a huge, huge area. Oh, okay, Doom on my gunner. I think that's the first time I've seen Doom hit them. I've had them get KO'd by random, like, you know, black magic and whatnot, but it's the first time I think I've seen Doom hit them and not Balthier. I'll have to res them eventually, but, you know, that's all right. I can live with that. You usually expect to have to res the gunners a few times. And obviously, whenever you res them, you've got to redo their crit HP setup. So... All right. Oops. Lovely. Oh, okay. So, yep, there we go. Just manipulate the spawns of these enemies because we need a lot of them to get destroyed if we want to get through to the next area. I'll see. Are we looking at enough here? I think maybe with both of these we've got enough. We might need one more. No, we're good. Okay, awesome. Now this wyvern here is a bit of a pain. Oh, okay, I got, disrespected it. I should have taken the gunners out of the party and fled through that. But whatever. We've got Phoenix down still. Now this section here is also a little bit tricky because these guys... Okay, good. They did actually start targeting the gunner. Bugger. Okay, good. Oh, okay. Not so good. So I'm just going to flee through the next little bit here and get to a corner just after this, and there'll be one more brain pan I need to destroy, and then I'll be good to progress, because that will be enough to open up my various bits. So gunners can go on the bench. Oof, that stings. So this should be the end of the stair climbing. There'll be one more little encounter with this wyvern here who really wants to eat me. Ow. Gosh. Okay, that doesn't matter because I've got a safe area coming up with no enemies. And we're now coming up on a fish, which I guess is a sort of a stand-in for the blue dragon. So we're going to be bringing out the casters this time round because Slit is vulnerable to fire and is also vulnerable to oil. So Penelo and Ash are going to be coming out and making this look extremely, extremely easy. Just make sure I get my, decoy refreshed, and we're good. This one has a little bit to it where you basically just need to, it can sometimes move around really, really fast and lose sight of your decoy character, so I do need to make sure to sort of glue myself to it, but otherwise, look at this. That's no health bar at all. So with that, I've got this, that's the first ascent done. So there's sort of 3 ascents in the Pharos, 3 stages. First ascent is mostly just, climbing upstairs. Second ascent is, I would say probably the hardest part of the tower, apart from the final boss on a casual run. I found the third ascent to be a bit of a victory lap. Shay might disagree. But this bit here is, it's a bit mean. So you've got 4 separate altars where you demand you sacrifice something if you want to proceed. Otherwise, the doors are locked. There's the altar of magics, the altar of steel that locks your attack command, and the altar of wealth, which locks the ability to use items. Altar of steel locks, magics locks magic. We're picking the altar of knowledge, which turns off your map. However, the PS2 and the remaster version have 2 separate map systems, so you'll see our little top mini-maps go on, but we can still just bring up the overlay map, because they didn't think to catch for this. So that's just a completely that altar is basically just free compared to all the other 3. You'd still do it even if you didn't have this, because you can just know the map and do things by dead reckoning, but having to not even give anything up in the process is very nice.
Yeah, this part I was really dumb, and I let go of my magic.
Oh, that's vicious.
Yeah.
Because I expect, a lot of the time, certainly when I just play casual, that's your healing, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously I'm using items in the run, but, no one likes using items to heal, right? It's no, I want to keep...
too scary. You run out of them.
Yeah.
You don't want to, what if you need them for later?
Yeah, I've got 10 elixirs on the final boss.
No, the thing is, I was running low on resources.
No.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah, so this part was a real struggle for me.
I'm just going to run past these little froggies here. It's a bit irritating catching that stray there, but I think we'll be alright. There's also this little mechanic here. You see in a few little fool's facades where there's these fake walls you can smash. Excellent. That enemy's busy buffing itself and it can't eat me. Those guys are scary. And that's done with sort of the 3 sort of regular stations, and we've got no boss fight coming up, and second ascent will be done. So Fenrir is one that is extremely I want to do a very specific setup to beat this guy, the white tiger. I don't know why it's named for a wolf thing when it's a tiger, but it is. I don't know what's called in Japanese. Probably Byakko or something. All right, so I pick up that haste emote, and I want to first remove the Berserker braces from my gunners and get them to buff themselves with bravery and chuck a haste emote. Oh, did Fran not have... Oh. Ah, right. I see the problem. I didn't set that up. That's okay. Perfect. And now we'll just put the Berserker Braces back on them, which lets us remove them from the party, even though they're technically targeting themselves. Now, Ash and Varn, I'll just bring in to get a decoy set up. And now I'm going to go in solo, because he's going to open with an AoE attack. And I need to make sure that that thing just whiffs into like Bolthier, because if it touches the gunners, they're just going to get vaporized. So Whale fires off, and I can bring him in because the animation's already underway. And now I need to just make sure it runs as far away from them as possible and chuck a Dispel Note on it to get rid of its Protect. Oh, that delay. Okay, that delay is quite irritating. I think I'm not going to be able to get the perfect setup from this. So Fenrir has gone well, but it's going to have some downstream effects. I think I took a bit too long on that for Hushmal. But that's fine. That's a problem for later. There are safety strats for Hushmal, fortunately. I have, yeah.
Yep, equip friend before Hushmal.
Yep. So that's the second ascent done. Pretty quick compared to the first ascent. All right, no, technically it's not done. We need to cash in here. Oh, right, no, it's not. Because this area here, like, technically it's like you think it's a safe area, but there's a 20% chance to spawn like an Undine Entite, this like mega roided out water elemental.
What do you mean? I never encountered it.
And unlike all the rest of them in normal areas, they're hostile on sight. Like normally they only aggro when you cast magic. In the Pharos, they just hate you instantly. And yeah, I've had them turn up just thinking I was all clean.
Well, I got lucky then.
Yeah, it was only 20%. All right. So we've got a little lift here, and then we've got one more teleporter to take, and we'll be done with the second ascent. And on to the third ascent. We can see those floor numbers going up and up and up and up. What, we're on like floor 67 now? Higher still. This section here is like, you basically get given the Banjo-Kazooie quiz show treatment, where you've got like 4 different teleport crystal to touch, and like you're supposed to know what the correct one is by sort of reading clues elsewhere. So the first one, like the black sigil, because of the black orbs that you picked up on the first floor.
Yeah, so everything you did in the previous part of this tower, you're reliving now. If you select the wrong one twice, you get teleported to the bottom.
Out of my face!
There's like a huge enemy that spawns and can likely wipe your party. Ask me how I know.
Yeah. Green sigil for the brain pans, yeah. And of course, going there is how it gives you the explicit clues as well. It's mean.
Yeah, the only upside of going there is getting the map of the area. But yeah, it was...
So yeah, a lot of mean zombies and ghosts.
Yeah.
Now, red sigil for the Datars. And then the next one is hilarious because it's which one did you pick? Like, which sacrifice sigil did you pick? So every playthrough is going to be a different experience. For me, it's the sigil of sacrifice for knowledge. So I've got the lovely little pink there. And then it's like, haha, faked out. We've got 4 sigils next, and they're all wrong. So instead, you have to go here, beat up this wall, and touch like the transparent Empyrean sigil to get through for the last thing. So also, there's a 20% chance for to spawn a rare game golem enemy here. He's not here. That's fine. So we're going to equip Fran with our new gun before Hushmal. Get the game speed on fast. And now I'm going to chuck my reverse moat that I got all the way back in Dracula Laboratory. Where are you hiding? Because the start of this fight, I need to do pretty clean. Double check. Yep. So, for whatever reason, you could skip the earlier lift cutscenes, but you can't skip this one. Who knows why? Hushmal's coming up. He's the Earth Esper. So plan A is I just use the reverse moat to face tank him and rely on the gunners being so roided out that they can just sort of phoenix down past his mega attack. Plan B is to use a float moat because all of his Earth elemental attacks always miss a character with float. Like, alrighty.
Do you mind if I come in with a donation?
Yes, by all means.
We have a $10 donation by Madeline saying, always great to see Final Fantasy XII in a marathon. Thank you very much for your donation. Also, did you say you were on floor 67?
Yes, it's a generational thing because you go like twice. You go to 67, then 68, and then you go to 70 after floor 68. So you only get the kids' funny number. Anyway, that's Hushmal. Like, you know, if he got Quakejaw off, I would have cried. The Phoenix Down I use as all up also gives me some secondary benefit because I want Redis alive for the next encounter. So, yeah, we're right at the top. Look, like 91, 92, and a cutscene, and we're a few more floors up. Oh, look, we're right at the top. We're nearly there. Almost on our way to the Suncrest. 99! Perfect! So we're just going to refresh Bravery on our gunners. Oops, did I remove the wrong piece of equipment? Huh. Why is Fran still berserk? Alright, she's not gambited for Bacchus Wine, is she?
You did have her.
Oh, did Barsh Bacchus her? Yeah. Alright, that's fine. We'll just let... it'll wear off before too long. I'll just triple check the gambits are right. Okay, good. So we'll just let that wear off. It can't take that long. Yeah, okay. Any second now.
Yeah, there's a lot of like
There we
rare
go.
items in this place as well, which I didn't end up getting because I was like, I need to get out of this place.
Yeah, like a lot of the sort of the end game tier spells and stuff, like, you know, your Flare and Holy and whatnot. Okay, good. So we're going to once again do the Decoy Protect setup for the next boss fight. All right. Oh, that was... it'll be fine. So, up first is Gabranth. Yeah, he's turned up in the cutscenes a lot, but this is the first we're seeing of him in gameplay. Technically, he's supposed to be like actually on a peace mission, but like he sees Barsh and is just instantly into murder mode. He's not
Yeah.
very good at his job.
Yeah, he says, if I see that Ash is going to cause war, I'll attack her. But if she's going to be peaceful, then I won't. But he ends up attacking her.
Yeah, anyway. I took Barsh out of the party there because if he's here, the smack talk lasts longer.
That's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
he talks back.
Your name was forever stained with blood.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and we use an instant Phoenix down here to prevent his cutscene attack and bring Barsh back in, and then that should just be boom, goodbye Gabranth. Now, unfortunately, we've got to fight Cid again, and he's much scarier this time. So we're just going to start with another Phoenix down to stop his Gatling gun attack.
Yeah, he
And now
does
phase
a
two.
lot of
Yeah.
gun attacks in this
So,
fight.
he's summoned an Esper. Like, Espers are for other people too, apparently. And Famfrit is the water Esper. Unfortunately, Famfrit is insubstantial and has resistance to guns. So the guns won't work on him. So instead, we've got to rely on some spell casting. So we're going to start with a few very specific commands. We need to make sure we don't fire that, get a manual decoy refresh and use a reflect emote from Balthier. Oh, it's up high, isn't it?
Yep.
There we go. Get the whole party with Reflect and use a Dispel Mote on Famfrit because that will make Cid waste his time rebuffing it. And then the casters just go to town on it. Goodbye, 21k per cast. How about that? So, I now need to also Dispel Mote Dr. Cid and do a manual re-decoy again on Balthier. Oh, I should be fine. But make sure Balthier runs 1,000,000 miles away from Cid. I can't block this cutscene attack. So I need to hope that it only hits Balthier and doesn't get the rest of my party with the AoE. If they get KO'd here, that's just a reset. I've got to do Gabranth and Cid again. There's just no coming back from it. Good, we're alive, so just flee and just reflect bounce our way to victory. Boom, in your face, Cid. He is the run killer. It doesn't look like it, but he has a passive augment which reflects part of the damage back on him, so your casters will slowly kill themselves attacking him, even with decoy up. I have lost multiple runs to Cid just saying no, so I'm feeling very happy there. We've got one tricky encounter left, because so we've had a heroic sacrifice there. Redis has blown up the Suncrest, and Ash has decided, okay, maybe like that was a bad idea, and I'll just not do that. Unfortunately, in the process, like Cid's activated his super weapon Sky Fortress Bahamut, and Vane's on his way to blow up Rabanastre, so we need to stop him. Fortunately, because this is a JRPG, even though we don't actually have any useful strategic assets, and we don't have any powerful godstones or tech or whatever, the power of friendship will be enough. We'll just beat him up and he'll die because he's a video game boss. So one last little word with the pirates. telling us that we can fly to Bahamut. So I'm going to start by just doing some gambit removal here. Make sure I don't have my friendly fire gambits on because, yeah, that'd be bad. Cool. I will just do one last double check that I've got enough potions and Phoenix down, because it'd be very embarrassing to flub it at the last minute.
I was just about to remind you to make sure you've got enough.
Okay, yeah. Phoenix down, excellent. They're looking fine. So we'll just sell. Don't need you. Don't need you. Okay. Cool. Yep, that'll be enough.
Are you regretting that elixir?
A little. I mean, I genuinely can't remember how much I sold for. Nowhere near as much regret as I have over the I should just done one more diamond armlet. 6,000 gil. It's like that's like a dozen X potions. All right, so yeah, Bahamut's a point of no return. We've got several cutscenes to skip. You know, we've got a big air battle happening, which, you know, like, we don't do anything to, so, like, technically, like, nothing that we do inside the ships really matters that much to what's going on outside. Like, I guess, like, you know, taking away the enemy commander and distracting him does something. We just don't see it. Oh, right, whoops. Change my party and get the game in slow. Yeah, Bush and Fran here, I want them to get bopped. The soldiers here, despite the fact that they're just like those loser Imperial soldiers we just clowned on back on Leviathan and whatnot, they do hit quite a bit harder. And there are also some flying robots with magics that do whatever. So I can't afford to treat things too like casually. But I do want my gunners to get KO'd so I can res them later on. Come on. There we go. Perfect.
Again, they do wait for you outside this elevator.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
once you go in.
So, like a free tip, like if you load the autosave in here, then it removes all the saved game state other than for the room the autosave's in. Which might become relevant. All right, I need to do that to get the Treaty Blade out of the way. Get these guys to, yep, booze themselves up again. And Berserk. All right, so we're ready for Gabranth. It's very important in this fight that I prime myself on the Gambit cursor, like in the first phase of the fight, because I need to no-sell his mid-fight heal. So, forward we go, and primed, good. And it doesn't make a difference if Bash is here or not.
Long have I walked in hatred's company. As long as I can curse your name, I shall not be defeated.
Then come. Wield your hatred and crush me. I welcome it.
Okay, mash. So, good. Gambit's just there because if you mash Gambit, nothing happens like bad. He's set up Renew on himself, so I've just Reflect Bounced it to myself instead. That would have given a full heal otherwise. I don't get to no-sell the cutscene attack, but as long as this only hits Balthier, I don't really mind that much. It's like just the time lost from the animation. Good, nice, that's done. Sorry, Gabranth, you just don't have what it takes. So, with that done, I'm going to activate the lift and bring Varn and Ash in to refresh my buffs. And then get the gunners back out before we're done. So, Vayne, if I could just verify, I think a haste emote at the start.
Manual decoy before, haste emote during, and yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, hi Vayne. You're looking fun. Haska, and then prime on a Phoenix down for second phase.
Your lives are forfeit, and your insurgents with them.
This is the final boss, by the way,
Yeah,
everyone.
he's got 3 phases. It's a Final Fantasy game. I'll let you know when its time's coming up.
Catch. I was like, this is, yeah.
And I managed to. Oh, he still does it. Bugger. I was too early on the Phoenix down. Once again, if it's only targeting Balthier, I don't care. Like, that's a single target. Yeah, we're good. All right, Novus. I think that's run forward and domain. So yeah, now he's all roided out because he's got the same like freaky like performance enhancing stuff that like everyone else has been hopped up on.
Yeah, 2 domain during manual decoy after the cutscene.
And Fran. And Bush. Oh boy. Ooh, that's not fun. Should be salvageable, but unfortunate.
The tyranny of the gods is ended. We are their puppets no more. The freedom for which we have longed is at hand.
Alright, so gonna switch anyway here to Ash and Vaughn to refresh my buffs, and I'll just use that opportunity to Phoenix down Bush while he's on the bench. Remove his braces and his chrome leathers. And I'm just going to face tank this next attack with Vaughn and Ash. It's possible to skip this by KOing yourself with a holy mote. Like, so the holy mote animation delays the animation, and then like you KO yourself so the attack never gets to come out. But it's very finicky.
Yeah, it says that on the notes here.
No, actually, this is content.
Oh, a different
Tree
one.
of Sephira is a different attack that he has, which I absolutely need to stop.
Yeah, that's not on the notes.
Yeah, Tree of yeah. So this one you like him getting that attack off is part of the plan. Okay, and we're just gonna gear Bush up to Berserk, and we should be alright. I just need to use a Phoenix down to stop Tree of Sephira once he gets down lower. So we should be Faraga. Okay, now good. Another Faraga. We're good. Okay. Yep. No cell. All right. So actual final boss. Last final.
For
coming
real.
up. Health bar is not visible. I will call time when it happens.
Yeah, there's not much on the notes on this. I'm just going to put this back.
Pray. So I'm going to run off to the side and hope that his AoE doesn't catch the gunners. It did. That's okay. Oh, it caught both of them. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, so Vane's fused with Bahamut here.
Yeah, and Venar, sort of the Acuria, like the rogue god who'd been guiding him the whole time. Oh, did my decoy wear off, maybe?
Yeah, I think your decoys... Yeah, it has.
All right, you know what we're going to do? The best backup strat. Use my autosave into trial mode, and now there's no pressure. So I will temporarily bench the gunners.
Wait, you can, and then just go back to the...
Yes, because it's an autosave.
That's cheating!
Oh, they're getting targeted by the rats. That sucks. So I do actually need to wait for the rats to stop attacking my gunners. Man, like I can, fighting the final boss and a bunch of rats are giving me trouble. Okay, so Phoenix down on Ash.
Waiting there? What, the final boss?
Well, he's very polite.
Yeah, all the enemies are very polite in this game.
I want to call this rat strats.
Oh, come on. Stop targeting